and empowering change that moves our nation forward. ChannelOne TV, telling your story, empowering change.
It's the 6th of June 2026. You're welcome to The Big Issue on ChannelOne Television and on 97.3 Citi FM. The Big Issue is that weekend analysis discussion program where we bring the big stories, put them on this particular table, bring the best brains around to debate and analyze them so that if there's any part you missed or you don't understand or you do not fully appreciate, you'd get to do so here on The Big Issue. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu, and today we are focusing on three major issues. Of course, the anti-LGBTQI bill that has been passed, whether or not it is going to the president is the next question. The main proponent of that particular bill, Member of Parliament for Ningo Prime Minister for Communication, who has also just said that you need an ID card to watch Pono. The Honorable Samonate George is my guest shortly. Then we will talk about the flood situation in Accra. A drop of rain in Accra causes stress in the whole country. On June 3rd, we were saved, but of course, it reminded us of what happened in 2015, 11 years ago. Well, there were possibilities that the same thing could have happened with just a spark. Thank God we were safe and we were saved. So we'll deal with that issue, how the perennial flooding can be dealt with by the country once and for all. And finally, President John Dramani Mahama would be lame duck, and I'm using that with a lot of reverence and respect. What that means is that he would be head of state, he will be president, but power will start gravitating. You remember what happened to Akufo-Addo in the last days after Dr. Bawumia was chosen as flag bearer? Yes, that thing will happen because President Mahama will not be seeking, well, it's constitutionally barred from running again as president. The jostling for power within the NDC is getting out of hand. Yesterday, we saw a statement from the Ministry of Agriculture, which was a very scathing attack on the Ministry of Finance. Now, it is seen as a bureaucratic confusion or a complex matter of budgetary allocation, at least on the surface, that's how it looks. But deep down, there is a view that what we are seeing is actually a bigger picture, a presidential ambition gone very toxic, where the finance minister, who is believed or suspected to have an interest in being the flag bearer, is tightening the noose on other possible contenders, including Eric Opoku, Minister for Agric, who is also believed to be interested in running for flag bearer. Earlier, we had a similar concern relating to Haruna Idrisu, who is Minister for Education, also believed to be interested. Are these rumors true? Are they not? How would the NDC deal with them? That and more here on The Big Issue. I would want to hear your views on the matters arising on the show today. Send me messages on WhatsApp 0539 986 996, 0539 986 996, and 020 444 7033. 020 444 7033. That is the WhatsApp number. If you want to go on X, mention my handle at Umaru Sanda or at ChannelOne TV or at Citi973 and add the hashtag The Big Issue, and the world will get to appreciate and understand your views. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu. This is A Big Issue. I return with my guest in studio in a bit. You're welcome. This is A Big Issue on 97.3 Citi FM and on ChannelOne Television. So this week, the much talked about, much anticipated anti-LGBTQI bill went through. In fact, it went through last week, but not without issue. There was a lot of koka to borrow the local language. Eventually went through anyway. The Honorable Mahama Yarika leading the charge for it to go through. Samonate George, who is the lead proponent, was not in town. The Honorable Reverend Ntim Fojo, one of the proponents, was in the chamber and he did Pontius Pilate on the bill. The bill went through anyway. The Right Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Abansoma Kingsford Bagbin, returned on Tuesday and said, no, this thing, no, it didn't go well. So we have to bring it back. The President himself spoke. He also wasn't very straightforward as to whether he would sign it or not. So the Honorable Speaker wants them to re-debate this bill. But is that even possible? A bill that is supposed to just go to the President. There's a quick summary that has been done by our reporter in Parliament, Niayekwe Okain. I want you to watch that briefly.
In the aftermath of the proceedings of the House on Friday, concerns have been raised as to whether the final text of the bill, incorporating all amendments agreed to during the consideration stage, was available to members in a manner that enabled them to fully appreciate the exact form of the final bill before the third reading and ultimate passage into law. I have also taken note of concerns expressed by some honorable members that amendments adopted during the consideration stage did not reflect the position taken by the committee, as stated in the conclusion of the committee's report, to which, and I quote, the committee, having carefully considered the bill, unanimously recommends, unquote, its passage to the House. Unanimously recommends its passage to the House. Neither did the proceedings of that day convey the unanimity nor bipartisan understanding upon which the bill was initially promoted and deliberated upon. What is right must be done rightly. Honorable members, I call on Parliament to rely on the provisions of motions and the conventions of this House to go back to this historic and important bill and reconsider it in the way that is truly bipartisan to conform with the convictions and confidence of our people, the initiators of the bill. It is with this conviction that I invite honorable members to reflect on whether further consideration of this matter may better secure the confidence, unity, collective ownership of the bill, and respect of our faith, laws, and passion of the nation. Accordingly, I respectfully appeal to honorable members to reflect carefully upon the issues raised and to consider in the larger national interests the bipartisan character of the bill, the unity of the House and the nation, and the need to maintain the highest standards of procedural integrity to revisit its decision on the third reading of the bill to permit a reconsideration of the final text of the bill and any amendments thereto.
So that's the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagby. So the thing he's asking to happen, can it happen? Should it happen? Is it legal? Is it a new thing? Is it even allowed? What should be the role of the President in this matter? Should the clerk to Parliament just send a letter? Can the clerk do that without the Speaker's approval and all of that? That's one of the conversations we'll be having here. Meanwhile, Minister for Communications, Samonate George, a co-sponsor of the bill, spoke to journalists at the 4th Interparliamentary Conference on Family, Sovereignty and Values. And he says, send the bill to the President.
The Speaker has made an appeal. I've read the standing order since I saw the appeal. There's nothing in our standing orders for a rescission. When Parliament passes a bill, Parliament is functus officio. I think that the only role that Parliament has today is to transmit the bill to the President. When it goes to the President has indicated that he will want to have scrutiny of the bill. The Constitution spells out the steps the president can take to scrutinize the bill. He has a number of days after it's been transmitted to him to report back to the House and say, I have no objection. I'm signing it. I'm assenting to it. If he has an issue, he can write back to us and say, I have an issue with this provision, that provision. Parliament should reconsider it with his recommendations. He can't just give issues. He must make recommendations through his Attorney General. Or he can refer it to the Council of State for advice and notify Parliament that I've sent it to the Council of State. There's a number of days for all of this. I think the longest is the Council of State one, which takes 30 days for them to come back to him. If he has an objection, he has 14 days to indicate so. If he has no objection, 7 days to indicate so. I think that that's where we are. Parliament should transmit the bill, warts and all, irrespective of whatever drama may have conspired. Parliament has done its job, because the art of a rescission of a passage of a bill is alien to our standing orders. Everything that we do in this House, Parliament is a house of rules. If it was, respectfully to Mr. Speaker, it's not a house of appeals, it's a house of rules. And so if there's no rule in the rule book that gives us room to do what he wants to do, I'm saying that there's still a room in there. The presidency can come back to us and say, Parliament, reconsider 1, 2, 3, and we'll have that debate on the floor and then send it back. And the
allows for emotions to call for rescission of a decision of the House.
No, not after a bill has been passed.
Passage of the bill is a decision of the House.
No, but once the bill, if you read the rules of the House, after third reading, Parliament becomes functus officio. Parliament has no role again to play. So once the bill, after the third reading, that's it. We have to transmit it. Let's transmit it. Let the presidency come back to us with any challenges that they have, if they have. The speaker can share with the presidency any further challenges that he has, if he has, and let Parliament reconsider it. But that's the only route I see here for any reconsideration to happen.
Well, so that is the communications minister, but the issues that are arising as to whether Parliament can do anything at all following the passage of that bill. Now, the bill itself, has it been properly passed? That is a question that has been asked. The Speaker thinks there were procedural errors that have to be dealt with, and as a result of those procedural errors, the bill has to be reconsidered. Is that alien to the rules? Is that possible to even be seen happening? And then if it will even be dealt with, how would that dealing with be done? That is a conversation. Is it possible to move forward with this bill? And would the bill get to the president for it to be signed, or it will suffer the same fate that it suffered in the last parliament? Let me bring in my guests. So let me first of all introduce my guests who will be joining me for the discussion this morning. I will be joined by John Osai Kwapon. He's a political analyst, a research fellow with CDD. Duncan Amo is Executive Secretary of COPEC. He will be joining me in studio. Musa Dankwa is Executive Director of Global Info Analytics. He is the one that the NDC people say he's causing them trouble. He should stop the thing he's doing. Lamtik Apanga is Deputy CEO of the Gaming Commission. He is also in studio with me. Denis Miracles Aboagye speaks for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. He is a former DCE, former Communications Director. Miracle, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Oh, we're good.
How are you named Miracle? Miracle is from a certain region that they give such names.
Once you survive in a space where you have Honorable Sam George Nku as your political opponent, it's a miracle. So if you want to survive, yeah.
So your father named you Miracle
yes,
in anticipation that you would meet.
It's actually my mother who named me. She named me Miracles in anticipation that I'll be able to survive.
No problem. I'll pray for you.
Survive with my own political opponents.
Let me introduce the Minister for Communication, Digital Technology Innovation. The title of the ministry is long. Please tell the president that we beg he should reduce the title. Last night we saw that they said they were going to do reshuffle. You wait before that one. Let me introduce him properly. So, Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram Pram, used to be part of my district, then Dangbi West. Then they decided to seek independence and they left us. And they have more resources, so we are struggling. But we have a regional minister, so we're hoping that he can go and collect some resources from Ningo Pram Pram and come and use to build us. He's also an Arsenal supporter and many other things. Someone at George Moye.
Yeah, okay.
Correct.
Inge Saminya, the money.
Saminya.
Ke you walk a beer man.
Anga Saminya say moto polo.
JK Paul, they don't hope you look at you.
Bro, how is it going? Everything under control?
By God's grace. I mean, I just found out this morning that years before I even found Miracles, his mother had a vision that because of me, she had to name her son Miracle.
You're very important.
It shows that I'm a man blessed by God. If God can touch mothers to name their children because of me, then I bless God for His mercy and His grace.
You have no right of responsibility.
I'm not responding. I'm glad I'm surviving.
You have no right of
Thank
responsibility.
Thank you, Mama.
I want us to deal with a few issues, and then I'll bring my panelists in. We have the LGBTQ bill that has gone through. You were a very active voice. Then 2 days ago, you came in the news that the enjoyment brothers are having on the porn site. You want to prevent them from watching unless they come and show their face. I'll ask you to explain what the idea is. The small betting boys take the chill to down until you want to collect it from there. You say they have to bring ID cards. I'll ask you to explain. In fact, I think we should start with that one first. What are you seeking to do with that?
Yes, 2 days ago I spoke, and good morning to our viewers and our listeners. 2 days ago I was a facilitator. I presented on a panel at the 4th Interparliamentary Conference on Family and Values and African Sovereignty, which was hosted here in Accra. And I spoke on the threats to the African continent in the light of data sovereignty, digital advancement, and artificial intelligence. As part of my presentation, I spoke about the fact that my ministry was working through the Cybersecurity Authority to put together a memo to go to Cabinet. And we're going to require age verification for access to X-rated sites. As well, we're working with the NIA and a few other agencies to also demand that for anybody going to access betting sites, you must show, you must prove age verification. I've seen a lot of the social media commentary, but Umaru, if you sit where we sit and you see the complaints that we get at the Cybersecurity Authority from parents, one of the things that broke my heart was a mother who came broken. Her 7-year-old son was addicted to pornography.
7-year-old?
7-year-old. And how he found a pornographic website was he was watching a children's cartoon, and on YouTube, and at times these adverts come through with a link, and in trying, the children try to skip, and in trying to do that, he clicked on the link, took him to an X-rated site. The device was with him, he watched it, and he's been hooked. It's an addiction, 7-year-old. And so if we want to introduce protections for our children, we're not saying we're going to publish the list of everybody who is visiting an X-rated site. In fact, there are people who say that we should actually block access to completely to X-rated sites in the country. But for me, I think that anybody above 18 has the liberty and is old and of age to make their own decisions. And so that's why we're saying that, and this, what we are introducing is not new here. These X-rated sites come from Western jurisdictions. In the whole of Europe today, in the United States, in the UK, to visit any of these X-rated sites, they do age verification. So I struggle to understand why people think that if in the advanced jurisdictions where they claim their freedoms, where they claim that we should copy from, they've realized the damage that these X-rated sites have done to kids. In fact, in jurisdictions like Australia, they've gone beyond just demanding age verification. They're actually passing legislation, and the EU is currently considering legislation to ban children below the age of 16 from social media platforms completely. Because you see, Umaru, we're beginning to see medical reports, research that shows the damage that screen time is doing to the minds of children. There is one statement that was made on the floor of the House in the last Parliament. I haven't forgotten it. It was made by the then member for Ablikuma, no, I think it's Okaikwe South or so, Sheila Battles.
That's Okaikwe South.
Okaikwe South. She made a statement on the floor of the House on the effect of screen time on children. It's a statement that has stayed with me. Because it spoke about how the amount of screen time. And today, most parents, when your child is crying, the first thing you do is to give a screen to the child. And what it does to their cognitive development, what it does to the development of the child's brain. There's scientific evidence to show this. And the West is moving to protect their children. But as always, we think that we shouldn't be protected. When we want to put in protections, people think that we're trying to curtail their rights. We're not asking you, nobody's going to check your name or your face. We just want to verify your age. And today, the single source of truth that we have for national identification and verification is the Ghana card.
Just one. So Ablekuma North rather is
So
where
Ablekuma
Sheila
North,
Battles, because
exactly.
her father was
the Ablekuma North.
So
Yes.
it's not.
That was the statement.
Okaigwe South was Newman's daughter.
Dakwa, yes.
Yes.
I think the statement was made by Dakwa and supported by Sheila Battles. Both of them made that statement.
Very well. Okay.
Yes. And so, and it's a statement that has stuck with me, because I thought that it was well researched and now as minister, seeing what's going on at the Cybersecurity Authority, I think that the state has a responsibility to protect our children.
So the idea is
protect them.
So the idea is that if the person puts their ID and they are below 18, the site will block them out.
So what it is once we do that mandation, the sites will have to integrate with the National Identification Authority.
Okay.
So what you would require is your Ghana card number. You're not even uploading a picture or anything. It's your Ghana card number.
Okay.
Then once you upload your Ghana card number, what happens is a cross-check is done with your age, your date of birth on the Ghana card. And once that is done, it shows that, okay, the person is 18 and above. In some jurisdictions, they've actually gone to facial recognition.
Before you get
Yes. Some jurisdictions have done that. That's not what we are suggesting.
In the US,
what we are interested in is not identity per se. It is age. It's age verification we are introducing, both for pornographic websites or X-rated sites and for betting sites. And I've seen those who say, oh, but there's a lot of porn on X, there's a lot of porn on Telegram. Well, on those platforms as well, when you open an account, there are certain age restrictions to opening of accounts there. I think some of them you can't open an account if you are less than 15 years. So even there are thresholds. If you lie to go in there, that's on the parent. But at least as a state, we must take an effort to ensure that we put in the guardrails to ensure that our kids are protected at the very base minimum.
In the US, what I see is that when you enter a bar, a pub, or a club, they would require an ID.
Yes.
But that's the physical one.
Yes.
I don't know that there's a virtual requirement like you have said.
There are a number of US states, as it stands, there's federal law mandating it. There's about 13 or 14 US states that are challenging the federal law. Okay. But in the rest of the states, they have aligned with federal law, where if you want to view X-rated sites, you actually need to show proof of age. Age verification is becoming a standard requirement across the world.
And you have Data Protection Authority under your ministry, so
Yes.
that you are guaranteeing that the people who put their ID cards there, they will be protected.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we don't want one day Miracle will carry the list and
people
share
are worried. But you know what has shocked me is the number of people who seem to be ruffled by this thing. And I'm like, like what's going on in this town?
Hey, you don't understand, eh?
No,
that is a sanctuary.
I can't understand.
Oh, no, you will not.
To understand. Because the number of people who've actually messaged me privately to ask me, hey, Sojata, are you going to publish the names? And I'm like, now, how they say?
But my question though is that you are now thinking of this, you take it to cabinet, but practically, is it possible? Because we have VPN where countries that have restrictions, they have a way they go around the internet and do their things. How would you do that? Do you have the capacity?
There's always going to be a route for people who are mischievous. In the UK today, if you want to use a VPN, you can use a VPN and put yourself in Ghana because Ghana has no such restrictions and still get access. But the point is, for a child who is 7 years, like the example I gave you, or 8 years, for that child to have a device and download a VPN onto that device.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of work.
It's not possible for the child.
The VPN is not free. The VPN requires a card to be able to pay to have a VPN. I'm not interested in adults. And so an adult who has their card and wants to set up a VPN to bypass, that's really not my concern. You're 18 and above, you make your decisions, you lay your bed, you sleep in it.
Okay.
But for a 10-year-old, an 11-year-old, and that's why I said that those arguments and those pushbacks, I've heard people make them. Really, tell me how a 10-year-old has a bank card, a MasterCard or a Visa card, to be able to pay and download a VPN, subscribe to that VPN. Yes, they are smart kids, but it then comes to poor parenting. If your child can have access to a device, have access to your bank card, because again, how many bank children have bank cards? Yeah. So it means you have to get access to your father or mother's bank card. You know, the Miracles mother named him. Yeah. Then the mother would have dropped her bank card for Miracles to take the bank card when he was 10, and then go and download a VPN and pay for it on his device.
That's a very bad mother. It means Miracles' mother is very bad.
Oh, please, I didn't say that. That is you.
No, this is hypothetical. This is hypothetical.
The reason why she had to protect me.
That is you saying so.
Okay. So you've not gotten cabinet level approval yet?
We have to go to cabinet with a solid document, but I've announced the intention.
Okay.
I'm happy that, and you know, for me, I always say that before I go to cabinet, I would like to announce to the country what it is that I am cooking and allow stakeholders to make their inputs, because we're going to work with the Ministry of Gender and Children Protection as well, because this is about protecting the child.
Okay.
But you see, what people fail to realize is that the mandate of my ministry, and given the world today, my ministry is cross-sectoral. So whether you are talking about agriculture or even housing, there's always a technology aspect to it. And so our role cuts across multiple sectors, and so we are simply a facilitator.
Okay.
So this is about child protection, but it's on the digital platform, and that's where we step in and work on this.
Talking about testing the waters, you were also testing the waters with NITA, and your DG there has resigned. I'm sure you are very sad that he has resigned. The bill that you were working on, the NITA bill, what's up with that one?
Okay, so let me start with the resignation. The DG resigned end of March.
Oliver Kevo.
Yeah, end of March. It's not today. I'm just seeing it running around.
Okay.
It's not today. And there's a reason why he resigned. The party had given an indication that anybody who held a certain level of position in government, CEO, minister, or deputy CEO, who intended to run in our party's internal contest, whether it was constituency, regional, or national, will have to resign from their position in government.
Yeah.
Mark Oliver Kevo has indicated for over a year now, he's a current regional chairman of the NDC in the Eastern region. He's indicated that he seeks to run for re-election. So it is not related to the NITA bill.
I get you. I hosted him last night.
Yeah,
so
he put in his resignation, but because of the transitional nature of work we're doing there, in April, I gave him a 30-day stay.
Okay.
Not as an official staff, but in a technical capacity.
Okay.
I have renewed that again to run till the end of June.
Okay.
So he's still at post, and that's why he's still engaging as the acting director general of NITA, because we're doing a number of things relative to government licensing and transitions and all of that. And in the middle of that transition, a change in leadership is not necessarily the best. But I'm also awake.
You need him.
I'm also awake to the regulation that the party has given. So he cannot. He has his personal ambition, which is to remain as regional chairman, you know, and you cannot also say that we would deprive him of that opportunity. But there's a fine gray area in which we're operating, which allows for him to stay on, not in the capacity as an appointed person.
It means you are defying party orders. Party says let the guy go.
He's resigned. So we've accepted his resignation.
But you shouldn't keep him.
But I'm keeping him. The party didn't say that if you are there in a technical capacity as a technical advisor to the minister, that you should resign. Exactly.
So he's not the DG.
At the moment, he's not the director general because he's resigned from his post. But he's there in a technical advisory capacity.
And he resigned in March. So did you pay him for April,
no,
May? You said he resigned in March. So
March.
Did you pay him April, May, and this month?
No, he's not been paid. In fact, Kevo did not get confirmed by his board.
Okay.
The process through the Public Service Commission in the whole period while he was there.
So he's acting.
So he had been acting the whole period.
Yeah, but for the next 3 months that he's worked, where he has resigned.
So he's not earning a salary as Director General.
Okay. And you are going to keep him to the end of June or to the end of the year?
Till we are done with our processes.
But that means he's essentially working and he's not supposed to be working.
Umaru, he's not Director General. There's no Director General. The President is going to be appointing a new Director General once we are done with the migration processes that we are in the middle of.
Miracles say he wants to cross-examine you. One question.
No. I have two issues. You know, on the porn site, initially I was almost for the ID thing, but right now I'm very considerate. So it means that Umaru can use my ID to go and watch the thing in my name.
But he said it's adults, he's not his word.
No.
I'm not interested. So listen.
So you're saying that it's ID card number.
Yes.
So what it means is that if I land my hands on Umaru's ID number, that's all I need.
So, but that's why you should realize that right now the Ghana card is being treated as a security document.
I agree.
And so the same way your passport, you keep your passport safe. Your visa card.
No, but Minister,
As for
number, unless there's going to be verification.
Yes, there's going to be a verification.
Because normally, as for number.
So normally.
I'll just create a database on number.
Let me explain.
So you see, that's why we are doing the SIM registration again. And that's why we're doing the SIM registration right now on the back of the national ID card. And I explained to you when I explained the SIM registration process that for every activity against your Ghana card,
you'll be flagged.
You'll get an OTP to your registered SIM number.
So you can approve it.
So if I use your number, the verification OTP comes to the number associated with that Ghana card number for me to go through.
So you have to approve.
If I have taken your card and I've used it, the phone number that the OTP will go to is yours.
So there will be some OTP verification. Yes. Okay, that was good. The second concern is that.
So are you for it or against?
No, wait, I have a second concern. The second concern is, so there will be a database containing a bucket of people who have gone to the site.
What's the name of the American
And the Ministry of Communication that is headed by Honorable Sam George knows the list. And me, my name. Nah, man.
What's the name of the American man whose files have been leaking lately? What's the name?
Epstein.
No,
man. Nah. I'm against it. I'm against it. So there'll be a database.
But his data protection.
No. Let's be very clear. The site that is doing the verification is the one that's doing the verification, not the Ministry of Communication. One. Two. You see, when Miracles' mother named him Miracles, it was not to protect him from Sam George. It was to protect Sam George from him. You know why? When I sat in this studio, the first thing he said to me was, Charlie, the ID thing for Pono there, Charlie, do I support you. You said that
I haven't denied it.
You said that to me.
I haven't denied it.
The TV cameras have come on.
And you change your mind.
I haven't denied it.
It is a miracle.
I have not.
Dennis, you are a miracle.
Relax. I haven't denied it.
Okay.
I said that I was for it.
Yes.
Until now, he is telling me that he, Sam George, will have a database.
I have not said so.
So I will relax. It doesn't matter who is you are. Verification, the data sits somewhere. It's one of your people.
Government.
Is it that you or Yaya Kuku, even worse?
So your fear is that you are not safe.
Will have a database that has the number of times.
So you have watched.
I have watched. So I am against it.
So Dennis,
I am against it. It's not a good idea. I'm not talking at the watch. I say I am against it.
If you know the watch for the what's your
I'm
problem?
not talking at the watch.
This is a direct question.
It's a question. Do you
I don't watch
it?
I don't watch it.
Then you are safe. You are
But
safe.
you know sometimes.
So
you know sometimes.
you would rather your
sometimes when you are
exposed to it.
sometimes when you are scrolling on Instagram.
Like an SME
You
child.
go make mistakes and go press on side and say, hey, see XF, X, do that like X. You go X and press on side.
You do the damn the watch
before. No, but the point I'm making.
He's calling you for evidence.
The point I'm making is that I
principal witness one come back here.
The protection against children.
Yes.
But maybe we should find another way, not the IDs.
No.
Because the OTP I agree. Once there's an OTP, it means that even if you take my ID, you can't use it because it must come.
It must come to you for
fair enough.
Yes.
But that database where Yaya Kuku go have, or whoever go have in there, please, I'm against for the record.
But how do you create? No, Dennis. But how then do you run? So you see, that's why the Data Protection Authority is very key in this. Sometimes the way data is stored is anonymized, is encrypted, such that you see, even when you enter your bank card details, when you go to all the websites, they are not able to keep
but
your wait.
But upon request.
The point is that the one way encrypted can
Epstein was not encrypted. Let's be very clear. You see, when you enter your 16-digit number of your
which is
bank
also
card,
very long, by the
which
time
is long.
entering the
but if you enter your 16 bank cards, you know the middle 8 the second string of 4 and the third string of 4 are always XXX. They are blocked. Yeah. So whoever is on the back end doesn't even see the full, because those are the security features. And you see, you don't have the decryption key.
Who has?
So, for example, when it comes to Visa and MasterCard, it is Visa and MasterCard.
So in this one, who have?
And so in this case, the point I'm making here is this. You make the point that
we have trust issues. It's all about, the thing is about trust issues when it comes to data in Ghana.
But it has to sit somewhere.
I'm saying that there are trust issues when it comes to data in Ghana. That's the point.
But there's a law that protects your data.
Miracles. You see, I mean, yes, there are things that at times we trivialize, but when it comes to data protection, in today's world, we need to, myself and you, because the NDC won't be in power forever. The NPP will come to power one day, whenever it will be. We must build the institutions that our citizens can trust. And we must build on the trust that we build in those institutions. Okay. With all the things that governments are doing, digital identity is critical. Okay. And at the base of digital identity is data protection. And so we must work together to build the trust and not bastardize those institutions. Okay. And the point I make here, Umaru, and I land here, is that, look, I hear you are scrolling through. Mistakenly, you click, like the way Denis and Jude normally mistakenly click on the site.
Duncan and Denis.
Duncan and Denis. And when they click on it, the thing here is you don't get to watch. When you click on it mistakenly, the thing now asks you for ID. So if it was mistaken, you say, oh, I decline, I won't give you my ID. I go back.
If you mistakenly put your ID card,
you mistakenly put your ID card, then it asks you again. No, it then asks you for OTP.
And you
mistakenly put your OTP. Then this mistake is a miracle.
Then the data there with you.
Then this mistake is a miracle.
Then the data you go bomb me.
This mistake is a miracle.
Then you don't have a case. If you went through all those 3-4 steps.
No, maybe I'll be curious.
Then this mistake is a miracle.
Maybe I was just curious when I saw the thing. Then I said, oh, let me go see what.
You want to learn a new position.
Then the data there with that.
Then this mistake is a miracle.
Let's move on. So Nita, the bill, have you fine-tuned it now? Is it ready to be laid, or it's still,
even yesterday we spent 5.5 hours with our 4 law firms, not just on the Nita bill, but on all the bills, and civil society. Not just there's I don't know if I have their permission to put out, but we engaged one of the leading think tanks in Ghana. I gave them everything we're going to cabinet with, and they did a 97-page review of the legislation. Wow. And we spent 5.5 hours with them yesterday, going through each one by one, because what they did was they raised all their issues. And then what I did yesterday was, okay, this is you, these are the lawyers who did it, these are my director generals, my technical people, and this is me. Issue 1, law 1, this is issue 1. They raised it, we addressed it, we showed them what the addressing is. And by the time we were done yesterday, I was accused of being too transparent as a government minister.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you want to share the name of this think tank?
Imani Ghana.
Imani, okay. Imani Africa.
Imani Africa, sorry. Imani Africa. Okay. And we had Franklin Kujo, we had Kate Kujo, we had Selon Brantier, we had Sichofe with us.
Okay.
And I'm extremely grateful to them. They did this work pro bono. They were very critical and very analytical. They raised issues. There were issues we agreed on. There were some I explained to them why their amendments could not be carried along in the bill. But generally, we came to a consensus that we have the bills we looked at, the whole slew of 15, they basically said to us, this is fantastic. On one of them, for example, the emerging technologies bill, they had suggested we make it a framework. And by the time we met yesterday, the lawyers had actually turned it into a framework. Okay. But then the conversation then came up. So on that one, for example, I raised the issue there yesterday that the national AI strategy I passed has asked me to set up an AI council. But the emerging technologies framework talks about an emerging technologies council that oversees both AI, machine learning, and other things. So AI is a subset of emerging technologies. With the mandate from the National AI Strategy, what then becomes of the Emerging Technologies Council? So the lawyers are to sit back and come back to us with 3 scenarios of how we can marry. But on the NITA bill, largely, I mean, all the issues that have been raised, like I did in the stakeholder engagement, have been addressed. In fact, yesterday in the meeting, some of the lawyers thought that I was being too soft and that we should regulate everybody who operates in the space. Okay. And my argument is simple. We will regulate in an incremental manner. For now, the regulation and the mandatory regulation will be for individuals operating in the government ecosystem and in critical information infrastructure.
So soon you take it to Parliament, or it's still...
No, I'm not going to go to Cabinet.
You have to go Cabinet.
I'll go to Cabinet, AG, and then Parliament. Yeah.
Okay. Since you mentioned AI, I just remembered that you had an AI girlfriend, or appointee, or intern, or deputy. Is it Ikea? What was her name?
Aku.
Aku. And how is she doing?
Aku is doing fine. Aku is still in development.
Because she failed you like the team failed Dr. Bawumia at the end.
Oh no, Aku didn't fail.
It was similar.
No, we had a very fantastic conversation.
The Ghana card.
Charlie, you see, as soon as the guy was on this one, as soon as he said Bawumia now, pa.
The thing that was
the man's AI has failed him. What has he got to do Bawumia 2-3 years ago?
But okay, so it happened 2-3 years ago. I'm worried that something that happened 2 years ago.
I used it 3 weeks ago. It's working.
The airport one.
Yes.
But did you see the Sam George one?
I didn't see.
I didn't see Aku fail him.
Oh, the one that he was talking to.
Yeah.
Oh, no, the one there. So, but he knows.
But he failed me how?
That was
She refused to respond.
Who said she refused to respond?
That's the video I saw.
No. She responded to every single question. But you see, that's the thing. It was not supposed to be mechanical.
Okay.
It was meant to be a conversation. And that's what we did. There were conversations. I brought in my deputy minister.
Yes.
At a point in time, the president even quipped and said, do I want him to fire my deputy minister so that Aku becomes... It was all part of the conversation.
It means that Aku really is not smart yet. Because we all saw the video.
No, what do you mean by she wasn't responding to you? No.
At the point, the video I saw, I wasn't at the event. It looked as if she was not responding.
No. So there were times I spoke to her, and I would admit that there were latency issues with the internet connectivity. Because don't forget. As
he reached Samuel, there be latency. As he did Bawumia, they share where they laugh.
Oh, but
the airport
that one
didn't
open. That one they say open sesame. Ali Baba and the 40 thieves. Open sesame.
Before Aku, we all saw Sam George holding laptop where they on and they on.
Oh, how?
When you were doing the coders,
that wasn't charged.
When you were doing the coders,
when it was charged, when it was powered,
he has excuse for Aku. He has excuse for the laptop where they come. But they don't get excuse.
Oh, but they don't get technology. He always say open sesame, the thing no open. Me my own, I plug the thing on the laptop come on.
Everything they get a double.
The laptops are being used in all our learning centers.
Okay, so the coders thing is working. It's
the airport is being used now.
In 3 weeks.
I mean, interview a minister of state. You have never been minister.
You've never been minister.
I know.
You've not been
Congratulations, minister. By your laptop, they failed. That's what they talk. It didn't come on.
Who says? Shami Mabesi, DC they gave you that one safe. Yeah, let's leave it.
No, but they come before that.
See, now he's getting violent.
Before that, the communications minister.
Dennis, I'll let you respond. Take note. I'll let you respond to him before he leaves.
I'm just putting it on record.
No, I'm engaging for just
a few
minutes.
And he's explaining. That's what I'm saying. He's still explaining. But he thinks that Bawumia cannot explain why the gate at the airport didn't open in 20 seconds. But he has the explanation for Aku. That's all I am saying. That as comms minister, then ranking minister, he ought to have known that what happened with the gate with Bawumia was just technology as it's happening to him today. I just want him to say, yeah, maybe I was wrong.
Apologize
No, you don't have to apologize. Everybody knows it now.
He should withdraw the...
No, he doesn't have to. I'm just saying everybody knows it now, that he was just doing politics. That's what I'm saying. If they come explain again, you watch.
So have you also just done politics?
No. In fact, I haven't blamed you. I am only saying that you've just experienced something that, you know.
Umaru, by the time I leave this studio, the fact that I will still be alive will be a miracle.
Let's make progress. So, there's another thing I wanted, just follow up before.
Yeah.
The Ghana card registration.
Yeah.
Is it Ghana card registration?
SIM registration.
SIM registration, yes. What's up with that one?
So we're going through the process of procurement. In fact, just yesterday we received clearance from PPA to now start the procurement process. So we're now going to do the procurement for the SIM registration platform and then the CEIR platform. And then we're also currently at the Attorney General's with the drafters to fine-tune. We got cabinet approval on our LI because I'm saying that we need to have a proper legal regime to do the registration. I don't want to do it based on the ministerial fiat. Okay. So the LI is at the AGs. We're hopeful that by the time we'll be done with the procurement processes for the platform, we would have finished with the Attorney General, laid the LI before Parliament, had it matured, and then I'm hopeful that sometime before end of the year, we'll be in a position to go.
Very well. Now let's talk about the anti-LGBTQ bill. You were part of the people who brought it before the last Parliament. It went through, it never got to Jubilee House. For some reason, I think it got to Aboagye, Sankara, and then it remained there. This one, it has not even left Parliament yet. You were not in the chamber when it was debated, but you followed the debate, and now you're back. has that bill, based on everything you know in Parliament, you've been in Parliament since 2017, based on everything you know about Parliament, would that bill be said to have properly gone through, or like the Right Honourable Speaker said, there are procedural issues that have to be ironed out first before it's transmitted to the President?
Well, I mean, there's nobody who has his head properly screwed on who will question the wisdom and knowledge of the Right Honourable Speaker. In fact, I've been on record to say that the Right Honourable Speaker is an embodiment of Ghana's 4th Republican Parliament. He's been there from day one till today. However, that does not mean that everything that the Right Honourable Speaker says is sacrosanct. That's why it's a democracy. That's why everybody has an opinion. I've taken my time to go through the standing orders, and I do not see any provision in our standing orders that allows for an accommodation of the appeal that the Speaker made. And I believe that that's why the Speaker made an appeal. He didn't give a directive. The Speaker is not known to make appeals. The Speaker is known to give directives. And he always fortifies his directives with the appropriate standing orders. On this day, he didn't give a directive because there's no standing order to back it. He made an appeal. But again...
It's as to whether you listen to it as a house or not.
But the thing is, the house is a house of rules. Parliament is guided by its rules. And so even if I am minded to grant the appeal of the Right Honourable Speaker, under what standing order am I coming under?
But when they say you're master of your own rule, it means that you can change your own rules.
Yeah, we're
and
masters of
that.
our own rules. But the question is, what really are we trying to cure? What procedural flaw exists? There's none.
He said there was no stakeholder consultation properly.
That is not correct.
And that he thinks that this is a very sensitive issue that everybody should have their...
That may be a lack of information made available to the Speaker, because I took part in a stakeholder consultation. There was a 3-day stakeholder consultation by the committee.
Maybe he means consultation with the opposition party, because that's where the...
It is not a government bill.
Reverend Tim Fordjo and all those people were raising issues.
You see, the Speaker must be minded that this is not a government bill. It's a private member's bill. And the private members were in the room.
Only 2 or 3 of them.
Well, when we did the earlier consideration at Ananado, how many of the 8 were always in the room? How many of them? When we did the earlier consideration, in Team Fordjo, how many times did he speak on the floor? When we did the real consideration and the issues were...
He was afraid. Was deputy minister. You want him to lose minister?
I am a minister today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a minister today. I am still leading the charge. Okay? So I have spoken vociferously. When we did the previous thing, it was largely myself and Afenyo. In fact, the opposition to my positions on the bill and Nanado were led by Afenyo Marken and Anyimedu.
Yeah.
It wasn't in Team Fordjo. And so my point is, if today you had signatories to the bill, like in Team Fordjo, in the room, and they made their positions, and the amendments have been made, the amendments, the question I ask is what fundamentally is flawed? They say we've watered down the bill. Show me what portion of the amendments, and all of this is on clause 9.
They say you are not tight on promotion, which is really the reason, because LGBTQ as an act has long been proscribed since 1961 in the Criminal and Other Offences Act. So what you were supposed to prescribe now is a promotion, and that the reason this matter even came to the fore is because some people were deliberately pushing this through our textbooks and setting up safe havens and all of that. And that you, for some reason, because of fear that there'll be international repercussions, decided to take their promotion out and just let the thing be.
Umaru, which part of the amendments takes out the promotion? They are in the clause 9, I think there are about 8 explicit exemptions we've stated. In what we submitted as sponsors to Parliament, we said subject to the Constitution and then proceeded. Now, I tried to go through from memory. The first exemption we've stated there is legal advice and legal services. The question is, if today someone is accused of an offense under the Act, does that person have access to legal counsel? Should that person get legal advice? What does the Constitution say about anybody who is charged? That they are innocent until proven guilty, and that they have access, that the right.
So that's already settled, isn't there?
Yes, but you see,
on the academic one, for instance, the question has been raised: if an academic decides that I am doing LGBT things and I'm stating in there that now gender is no more male and female, but gender also includes all the other lists, and I put it in a textbook, and NACA approves it, and it goes through the school system like we have seen in the past. That is academic platform being used to promote LGBTQ, and that you have deliberately exempted those people so they can go ahead and put in the textbook.
No. So again, subject to the Constitution. What does I think it's Article 36 on the cultural principles of our state, that we would promote the values, that the state has a responsibility to promote values. Today, what are the values that the state has on LGBTQ? We prescribe it. NACA is a state institution. NACA will not, because of the position of the state, approve any textbook that promotes LGBTQ. So that, you see, I keep saying that it's not as though there are no safeguards. Like you said, you can't just publish a book and then all of a sudden our children are learning it. It must go through a certification process. That certification process is guided by the principles of the state. So it is not a carte blanche. It's not as though as soon as you do it, you publish a book, then it's straight in our classrooms. Books that go to our classroom go through NACA, come through GES. They are gatekeepers. And you know and I know that today our courts do not give a purposive interpretation to any statute that is made. So at the end of the day, you cannot wake up and just say that, oh, these exemptions which were made, which you see, and don't forget, the government of Amanda Odoi's case, suit against the bill when we passed it under President Akufo-Addo, and Richard Sky's case, was that these exemptions that we say exist
were not there,
subject to the Constitution. No, not that they were not there. Were not explicit in there, because when you say subject to the Constitution, what in the Constitution are you referring to? And so if right now we have taken our time to break down what we mean by subject to the Constitution, explain to me how that means what.
So you have given more meat to the provision. That's what you have done.
Absolutely.
The argument is that why didn't you, if you were very sure that the bill was proper, let Akufo-Addo sign it, he didn't see, you should have also just carried the same thing and given it to President Mahama to sign.
Well, Umaru, this is a different parliament. And you know, some of the sponsors have changed.
The new ones have joined.
There are new sponsors who've joined. Hassan Tampuli was not a sponsor of the old bill. Kabiru Tia was not a sponsor of the old bill. You have new sponsors who have joined. You have new members of parliament who are on the committee. Ayemedu, who was chairman of the committee in the 8th parliament, is not chairman of the committee today. It will be a disservice for anyone to assume that the 9th, and this is why my position from day one had been that the parliament was functus officio, we had completed 3rd reading, and that we should have just resubmitted the bill to President Mahama. My position was overruled by lawyers on both sides of the house. That so long as it was not completed in the 8th parliament, it is dead. And we needed to relay the bill again. And now once you relay the bill, you now have new members of parliament on that committee. You have new members of parliament in the plenary who have all made inputs into the bill. It is impossible to say that you would deny members of the 9th parliament an opportunity to make an input into a bill before that parliament.
So right now, you are saying that this bill has been properly passed and it should proceed to the president. As far as I'm concerned,
what parliament has to do is to transmit it to President Mahama. When we transmit it to President Mahama, if there are any challenges, and this was my same position in March 2024, when the cease and desist letter was issued by the executive secretary to the president at the time, I said, no, what you must do is accept the bill and go by the dictates of the Constitution. Come back to us in 7 days. That's what the Constitution says. In 7 days, come and tell us, I will sign the bill.
Or I will not.
If you will not sign, you have 14 days. In 14 days, tell us what you have a problem with, and then submit recommendations to deal with those problems for us to review. If Parliament and us as sponsors refuse and disagree with you, we would refuse your amendments as the president and subject it to a vote of the House.
Okay.
If we have 2/3 of Parliament, we overrule the president and it goes back to the president for him to sign without any further room for him to make any objections. Okay. Or the president can refer it, especially when it is on matters of culture, chieftaincy, and religion, to the Council of State. They have a 30-day window. Okay. My point is simple. Parliament should transmit the bill to President Mahama. President Mahama has indicated already at Chatham House that he's ready, but he thinks that there needs to be scrutiny. Yeah. He's going to hand the bill over to his Attorney General and his legal counsel, Marietta Brew. They will give him advice. Upon the advice, if they say that, look, the terms of the bill are okay, he would indicate that he will sign. Okay. If they think that they have reservations, he should write back to Parliament and we would debate his reservations.
Very well. Okay.
And so if Mr. Speaker has any such reservations, I think that it will be fine to channel it through that, because that's the route that Parliament has now.
Not to bring it back, and you cannot do a fourth reading.
Do a fourth reading, no.
It's not possible.
And we can reverse third reading.
Thank you so much. It's been good to respond to your issues. If, for instance, my account mistakenly posts and says LGBTQ, my Facebook, can you help me restore it?
I'm going to use your platform to throw an open challenge to the Honorable Alexander Afenyo-Markin.
I said me.
No, wait. I know the question you're asking. I've seen the comments he's made saying that his account was compromised. Yes. The Cybersecurity Authority of Ghana is willing to support him to run an investigation and will be able to determine if truly his account was compromised or if he made that post. If he really and truly believes that his account was compromised, he should file a formal complaint with us. We'll carry out an investigation, identify where the compromise came from, and make sure that they face the true rigors of the law. But if that account was not compromised and that post was done by him, he will not be able to file that complaint.
You doubt him? Do you?
I have debated the Honorable Afenyo-Markin on the floor of the House. His position in February 2024 aligned with the dictates and words in that post. In fact, what I see in Tim Fojo on the screen now, washing his hands off. Afenyo also washed his hands off and said that any law that we were passing in that manner, and it's there, the records of Parliament are there, as majority leader, he washed his hands off and said that as far as he was concerned, the bill we were passing in 2024 February was an assault on a group of people. Those were the same words in the tweet that came out. So, but I'm saying that there's still every likelihood that his position has changed. And now he believes in the dictates of the law. And some unscrupulous element may have chosen to do mischief by compromising his account. The Cybersecurity Authority will be willing to assist him to carry out an investigation to determine the compromise, the nature of the compromise, and remedial actions that have to be taken.
Someone sent me a message saying, please ask Honorable Sam George if compromised. Do you remember that?
Yes, the president filed a formal complaint with us in March 2025 when his account was compromised. Okay. The presidency filed a formal complaint with my Cybersecurity Authority, and we immediately triggered action to make sure that we restored it and found and worked on where the source of that compromise came. We did that for the president, and that's why I'm saying that the president of the country in March filed a formal complaint with us. I'm calling on the minority leader, if his account was also compromised, to file a complaint, and we'll do the same thing. We'll extend the same courtesies to him.
Jones Adboinla says, I think we are all aware about the effects of uncontrolled social media on our children. Therefore, every measure that will be taken to protect our young ones are welcome. All the noise about the LGBTQ confusion is because the NPP couldn't do it, and now they realize the consequence if the NDC should pass the bill. This one says, please, may I know before you get access to Pono, you need to use your Ghana card. Is it biometric or the ID number? If it's just the ID number, anybody who knows your ID number can use it without your knowledge, especially smart children. Okay, I think Dennis has already asked that question.
Yeah, we've dealt with the OTP. It came from Dennis. Dennis sent it to the person. He didn't know he was going to.
Dennis, I'm giving you just 3 minutes.
You know, he's been on his phone. He's texting messages to people that, send to Umaru.
He's activating camera.
He's activating camera. He's calling his people to come. Unfortunately, the way they slept at the polls, on December 7, 2024.
You've activated 5K men to send me messages against Sam George. You see your life. I'm giving you 3 minutes.
Oh, so he says he was activating people's forum.
I'm for the people with the people.
I'm giving you 3 minutes. If there's anything you want to respond to the minister before he leaves,
the LGBTQ issue, I'll deal with it when we have our turn.
Okay, yes.
I have a whole, points to make. First
No
of
problem.
all, the minister owes the Ghanaian people and the former president some apologies. I'll deal with that later.
Which former president?
He will never do it.
What
but I'll make
apology?
my point.
Apology
no,
for
you
what?
will make my point.
No, apology for
He will never
clarify.
do it. He will never do it, but I'll make my point. I don't want to jump it.
I won't be here. I'm leaving.
No, Lamtik will be here.
No,
so
no,
give him the
No,
brief.
I want to understand what.
Unless you're going to give me time,
What
I'll
do
do
you
it.
want me to
You give me
apologize
5
for?
minutes.
I can't give. Can you just mention the
just
headline?
No.
Mention what
I
you
will
would
not
need me to apologize
I
for.
will not do as he wants in his way. If you give me
but you are
5 to 10
referencing me. You
minutes,
said
I'll
I
do it.
will have
He's
to.
going to.
No,
So I'll make that point. So I said I will do it in my own time. Unless if he has time, he
So
can
you
say
see, he
it.
doesn't want me to be
No,
present when
it's
he
because
attacks me.
it's because I don't want to
No,
jump it.
say to me what I should
No,
apologize
would you
to
give me the
President
10 minutes to
Akufo-Addo
make
for?
my point? Then
No,
I'll do
but
it.
I'll give you 10.
No,
Then let's
Umaru,
go.
Yes.
to say what I need to apologize to President Akufo-Addo for, he doesn't need 10
I-
minutes.
no.
If you state
I will
it
get
and
to
it
that
is
point
something that
after
I
I
should
go to
apologize
my-
for, I will apologize
No,
for.
please.
Okay.
You have the chance. When you hear me later on, you want to respond, you can respond.
Oh, but it is.
But-
I just say for him to
But
respond.
I
here
think
now.
the only
He
thing
said
I'm
I told
saying
you.
now is that Afenyo doesn't have to report anything to him. If he
No, not to him or to
No,
the
but he's the boss
Cybersecurity
there.
Authority.
If he knows how to investigate, he should go and investigate the state websites that were compromised last week or last 2 weeks. Our
All of them have been recovered. We've investigated them.
Afenyo too has recovered his account. So why are you asking him to?
No, but
to prove to you.
the agents
In order
know.
for him to prove to you that his account was compromised, he should come and report to you first. What are you talking about?
Okay.
His account was compromised.
By
He doesn't need to prove anything
where?
to you. Have you told us who compromised the websites? Publish it.
The individual, the ministries that were affected know where.
So publish
where
it.
came.
But it's a public institution. Why don't you want
Put
to
in an
publish it?
RTI request.
Why don't you want to
Put
publish
in an
it?
RTI
I will
request.
put it in. But Afenyo is a private individual. He
So
doesn't
No,
have to
he's not a
report.
private individual.
What is he?
He is the minority leader in
Oh,
Ghana's
he's not in
parliament.
government.
No.
Hey, please.
No, please. Umaru, let's be clear. Maybe Umaru, let me do this.
What
The
are you?
leadership of the House.
NSA teacher for you now, so you're probably teachers are NSA teacher for you now. What are you talking about?
Let me hear his reasoning. What's your
The
reasoning?
leadership
Are
of
you?
the
I'm the one
House.
speaking.
I know. I've suspended.
No, he will not hijack my time.
No, he's not hijacking.
Let
He's
me
not-
finish my point.
Dennis, hold on.
He knows I'm going to expose.
I want to-
I'm going
No,
expose
what is
them.
exposure in this?
The-
I'm telling you
the
that
leadership
Afenyo
of the
Makin's
House-
Facebook
Gentlemen,
account.
gentlemen,
It is
hold on.
not
Gentlemen,
minority
hold on.
leaders account.
I am actually.
It is not
Dennis,
minority leaders account.
Dennis.
It is not, please. It
Dennis,
is not
I'm actually on
MPP's
your side.
No, let me end. It is not MPP's account. It is
me
not
finish and
minority
I'll
leaders
come in.
account. It is not an official account of the minority in parliament.
It's his personal account.
What are you talking about?
Okay,
he
no
doesn't
problem.
have to report anything to
No-
you.
no problem.
He's recovered his account.
Okay.
Go and prosecute those who compromise the ministry's account.
Okay.
That is what you are supposed
What
to
he
do.
said is accurate.
Umaru,
It's the
Wait,
it's a
Umaru,
private account.
Umaru, you asked me about the president's account.
Yes.
Was that Twitter account Presidency of Ghana or
But
Dramani
who cares
Mahama's
about that?
account?
It's his business.
that was
to do.
personal.
It's a personal
Yes.
account.
Who cares
Because
about
of
that?
the office he occupies and the fact that he conducts official business
Using that.
It is his
account.
choice
Afenyo
to report it to you. Afenyo doesn't have to report it to you.
Afenyo-
It could even be from you. We don't trust you. So what are you talking about? We should come and report to the same thing to you. You could have been the one who even compromised Afenyo's thing. In fact, I have always held that my suspicion is that it was the NDC who actually did that to Afenyo. That is my suspicion.
You see, the same way he and
I don't have a right to hold that suspicion.
Oh no, you are free.
But you can't do
your
it?
people-
Can't you do
Dennis,
it?
Dennis.
Can't you do it? Say, can't you do it?
Were you doing it in the past?
He was doing it even in opposition. See, go to his account.
You see why they want some
Go-
money
go
out of the
to-
communications ministry by hook and
Go to.
Dennis, wait.
he
You
was
are
doing
saying
it.
that Esla also was sitting there as minister and Sam George was running the
Minister,
ministry.
no. Minister for Communication doesn't control how people hack into systems. What are you talking about?
But Sam
The
George is not a
United
hacker.
States of America has been there when people have tapped into their system to steal COVID money.
Yeah,
I am
just
saying that Sam George cannot stop hacking in
Sam
Ghana.
George, they say he's a Greek or something.
No,
that
you
he
are not.
shouldn't
You are
even-
not
he's even-
understanding. I'm saying that he cannot stop hacking. It means that Sam George can be scrupulous and use some unscrupulous people to actually hack people's accounts. I have my strong suspicion that Sam George or somebody could be behind the Afenyo thing. I can't hold that view.
Umaru,
Okay.
the point I was
Let him
making
respond,
about
yes.
public
Yeah.
officers. The point I was making about public officers,
Yes.
and maybe people don't know,
Yes.
and it happened when we were in the minority. The 5 people who sit in the front there, both majority and minority, they are treated as government ministers. So their salary is different from the rest of us MPs.
Oh, okay.
They get, apart from the car loan we all take, they get vehicles and police protection. At a time when regular MPs didn't have police protection, the leadership on both sides had.
Minority
So
Facebook
the
account.
minority leader,
Minority Facebook account.
Afenyo conducts government business, minority parliamentary business on that account.
No, it's wrong.
So it cannot
It's
be
poor governance. It's one of the most workest governments.
So
If
you're
you,
saying-
if you,
so you're saying
no,
Afenyo
if
is
you,
doing poor
no, if you Sam
Dennis,
George,
Dennis,
if you, Sam George, you want to communicate to us,
Dennis,
don't go and use the Jata account
Dennis,
and come and tell me that it's an official account.
Dennis,
you can't do that.
That's why I ran the official
So, no, hold on.
Dennis,
So, Afenyo's account cannot
So you're saying Afenyo is doing the wrong thing.
No. I am saying that Afenyo hasn't told you he's using his account for his official. That is his personal views. No. On his personal account.
So when he's holding his press conferences and he streams them on that page,
he's using that account as one of the platforms. You cannot use your Sam Jata George account to come and communicate official business to us. You can't do that.
Donald Trump is president of the world's most powerful country.
Yes.
He uses his
but
personal,
that's
in fact, his personal own social media.
That's his own truth. That's true.
Which he uses to,
because it's social media, you can do that. But that does not represent the official position.
We're talking about is it not social media?
That does not represent official positions.
Umaru,
that does not represent official positions.
If you or any of our viewers understand the logic that Dennis has just put out, is a miracle.
No, but if you don't understand, because if you don't understand,
he tells you,
if you don't understand, then that's the beginning. That's the beginning of our problem. That's Sam Jata George, who goes to even cry on his Facebook wall. It's telling me that I should go to his
Facebook wall.
I'm just making a point that I should use his Sam Jata George Facebook wall. That he writes anything at all he feels. Writing Arsenal, writing Tottenham, anything, I should take it as official. Then we are in big trouble.
No,
we are in a big governance crisis.
That is why
you can't do that.
Let's leave it. Let's leave it.
That is why
you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that.
Honorable Samuel Dante George.
We don't care about you. We care about your communications ministry, not you. We don't care about you. Don't use your personal account to communicate official positions to us.
I don't use my
one of the platforms.
I have a formal official.
If you think you should do that, then we are in trouble. If you think we should do that, then we are in trouble.
Dennis, but you see, I'm having a difficulty appreciating you. You acted as director of communication of the vice president, even though for flag bearer purposes. You use your social media to write a lot of things. President Akufo-Addo, his handle at NA Akufo-Addo or N Akufo-Addo, he uses it to communicate a lot of information.
Nothing wrong with that. I am telling you that there is nothing wrong with that. Listen to me. So I am telling you that there is a big distinction between your personal social media handle and the official social media handle. Social media is a platform. I can share it, give it to you to share, give it to you to share. But when you want to validate the veracity of it, you don't come to the personal wall of Felix
page.
No, you don't do that.
You see what I said? It has been happening.
No.
So you're saying we should stop it now?
I am not saying. I am saying that it is one of the platforms that you can use to amplify official documentation. But that does not represent. That does not represent official position. Okay. If you think you should use your Sam Jata George account, then we are in trouble.
Thank you so much.
It's a whack governance principle.
Umaru, thank you,
it's like
Dennis.
saying that you can use samgeorge@gmail.com to do anything because of us.
Let's leave it here.
Who told you this?
You
see, you can trivialize it, but I'm telling you the truth. Your Sam Jata George account cannot be used to communicate communications.
Dennis, I want to sign off my minister so that I can leave. Honorable Minister, thank you so much for taking time off your busy schedule this wet Saturday morning to join us on the big issue. We are most grateful.
The way you keep stressing on the wet, well, I'm grateful as well, and thank you so much. I've survived some logic for some time, and it's a miracle that I'm walking out of here unscathed. At least the water bottle in front of him got assaulted.
Say hello. Say hello to the people for me.
We thank God he survived.
I wish you all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
This is the big issue on ChannelOne television on 97.3 Citi FM. The Honorable Samuel George is taking leave of us. Denis Miracles Aboagye is still with me. I have a few more people joining us on the panel. Please stay. You're welcome back. This is a big issue on 97.3 Citi FM and on ChannelOne television. Just gone by, we had the Minister for Communication. Let me now introduce my other guest in studio. Lamtig Apanga is Deputy CEO of the Gaming Commission. Lamtig, you're welcome.
Very much.
Musa Dankwa is Executive Director of Global Info Analytics. You're welcome, Musa.
Thank you.
Duncan will be joining us, and I still have with me Denis Miracles Aboagye. So let's start off. We've had a conversation around Samuel George. He has mentioned a number of things, but I think the bigger one is the LGBTQ matter. Dennis, the issue happening in Parliament, do you see it as a delay tactic? And your party didn't agree with the bill as part. So are you happy that the Speaker has intervened? How are you going to deal with this matter, considering that the Speaker's request is seen as unlawful to an extent?
So Maru, thank you, and good morning to my senior brothers here. You see, the reason why I needed time to talk about this LGBTQ is because there's history. And Sam George and a few of the NDC friends are trying to deflect the issues. And taking the conversation out of context because they know what it does to them. No pretense here. If there is one single thing that catapulted the NDC into power in 2024, LGBTQ will be part. In fact, if you should pick the 5 things that catapulted them and gave them a certain high level of goodwill, it will be LGBTQI. They lied about it. They did propaganda about it. They spun the issues on LGBTQI.
What did they lie about?
I'll come to it. So bad so that at some point, even if you are minding your business and you're a polling station chairman of NPP, you are seen in a certain light. Even at the time when there was a bill that was proposed by both sides of the House. And that is why I find it extremely hypocritical. When the NDC, especially Sam George and his friends, want us to make it look like it's okay, a law has been passed, let's just move. It's dangerous. And it's marks of a group of people who are not interested in anything in this country but just politics. I'll tell you why. We're all in this country. When something started going on around the country, you wake up in the morning, some people have mounted billboards, some people are flying flags. In fact, let me remind you, probably refresh your mind. What brought the heat in this conversation was when a certain office was set up
Around Hacho
on LGBTQI. That is what actually sparked the conversation and then eventually brought the whole country around a certain bill. Nobody from the NPP side, or let me say the NPP, I won't say nobody, NPP and NDC made up a lot of people, but the NPP as an organization and government has never for once been against the LGBTQI bill. There is no record of the president or any minister of state or even members of parliament as a group saying that as for us NPP, we're against the bill. None. In fact, for the record, the bill was not championed by Sam George. It was championed by Sam George and other members of parliament, including NPP members of parliament.
One NPP member?
Yes. I mean 2024.
7 others.
Then the bill was put in parliament. When the bill was put in parliament, members from both sides expressed views. In fact, lawyers from the NDC side actually expressed certain views on the LGBTQI bill. I was on TV3, I remember, and I told them that I am for anything that ensures that my little child is not exposed to this nonsense. However, I am against certain clauses in the law that criminalizes you, Umaru Sanda, and I being sent on an assignment in Tamale and want to go and sleep at Modern City. Our money, we want to save one and use one, and we are going to be charged for some crime. I was against that. I was against so many other aspects of the law. That is what everybody heard us talk about. Not just me, other citizens of the country said that there are certain aspects of the law. That includes even how lawyers can conduct themselves when it comes to issues of LGBTQI, how civil society organizations, how experts can talk about the matter. Because in that law as it was passed in 2024, or as it was being discussed in 2024, included things that did not make sense. Not once did Sam George acknowledge these legitimate concerns of these people. All he said was that pass the bill, pass the bill, pass the bill. And people kept saying the bill is dangerous. This morning, when you asked him a question about the experts, the water down on experts and why they have removed it and made it an exemption, you heard his response. He said that, but there's a NACA law and there's something in our directive principles of state principle policies that actually frowns on certain values, and so it makes up for it. Sam George, in 2024, when his attention was being drawn by Richard Sky and Co., that there are laws in this country, as you mentioned earlier, that already are against this LGBTQI thing. Do you know what he said? He said, if you think these laws are there, then why do you have a problem in aggregating and consolidating all of these different laws into one law? But you see today, he's referencing a NACA law, which is separate, and saying that could be used, using constitution to control experts and their views on LGBTQI. So that is where our concern is at the moment. Because based on these things, which were legitimate concerns, which today you agree with, you went on the street of Accra and called another Dankwa the Trumutu man. Those were the words you used. Trumutu man. You called MPP Trumutu party. You went to Asin North and told them that if you don't vote against the MPP candidate, they would not pass an anti-Trumutu law because MPP supports Trumutu. To the extent that even me, Miracles, that I love girls, love women. When I see women,
Men Kennedy.
No, like you and like myself and Umaru, the way we see women and we are happy.
No.
Don't question him again.
No. I was going go on your frolic of your own. Continue.
All of a sudden, because I'm MPP, when I step out, people like Sam George and co have made it look like all of a sudden, even me, I'm gay. That is how bad the situation was, and that is why some of us will not allow Sam George and co to take the conversation out of context.
But what have they
done?
Now
wait, relax. Now fast forward. The law was passed in the midst of all the concerns that were raised. The law was passed without Sam George and co acknowledging these concerns by Richard Sky, Amanda, Gajepo and co. Without they acknowledging, they passed the law, and he passed the law with so much grin and excitement, and said that it must be punitive. In fact, I have a video of Sam George here saying that even that law that we passed is not punitive enough. And that when he goes to Uganda, even Museveni, what's the name?
Yoweri
Museveni, that is not liked, has even passed a law that includes death. And that our law is not even punitive enough because Uganda has death as part of the punishment. Now you come into office. Now let me even put, before I even get there, the law has been passed. When the law was passed, immediately the law was passed, Richard Sky went to court. And Richard Sky went to seek certain reliefs. The reliefs were clear. One of the reliefs sought to block Parliament from even transmitting the bill to the president. One of the reliefs they were seeking to. When I read the Supreme Court ruling this morning, it was quite clear. Now, the president at the time was written to, and there's this letter I keep hearing them saying, making it look like Akufo-Addo didn't want to sign. Akufo-Addo never anywhere said that he wasn't going to sign the law. He never said it anywhere. Akufo-Addo never said anywhere that he had a personal opinion on the law. The Attorney General wrote to the President, which is in the cease and desist letter, telling him that, Mr. President, I have been served with an application that is seeking to bar me and you from attempting to assent to the LGBTQ bill, which is true, the Richard Sky application. And there is also an application, the same application is also seeking to bar Parliament from even transmitting the law to you. Mr. President, my advice to you, and you are a lawyer, my advice to you is that, you are a law student. My advice to you is that when there is such application, you are preemptively barred from taking any action on the matter.
So don't touch it.
Remember, if you read the Richard Sky application, it was preemptive. Yeah. In fact, the Supreme Court judge said it, that he was only preempting, that if he doesn't act, the thing will be transmitted. So the Attorney General wrote and advised the President. All the President did was to write to Parliament, the Speaker. Remember, Parliament is also laws of their own, and said that this is what my Attorney General has advised me on. My advice is that I'm not going to flaunt on the laws because I'm being barred now by this application. So don't transmit to me. Remember, Parliament was not under obligation to listen to the President. And that's something that people also refuse to realize. And they put the entire thing in Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo only wrote to you that don't transmit to me. The laws allow you to transmit your bill when you finish to me. I am only drawing your attention to what the Attorney General has told me and what the laws are. You could have ignored my letter because that is not, you are not under any obligation to
and still
transmit it to me. So that if it gets to me and I refuse to sign, then I'll be held responsible for it. When the letter was sent to Parliament, the Speaker of Parliament did not transmit the bill to the President. So as at 2024 7 December, Akufo-Addo had received no bill from the Parliament of Ghana. And yet, Sam George and his people, till date, made it look as if Akufo-Addo refused to sign a certain bill. As it stands now, has Mahama received the bill?
No.
How can we say Mahama has refused to sign the bill?
His secretary did not write to say don't bring it to me.
Because there's been no injunction served on the secretary.
Was it necessary for the secretary to have written to Parliament to say
it was
don't send it to me?
Yes, it was very necessary.
If you know that the procedure is that when you pass a bill, you bring it, you should have waited when the bill is brought.
It was very necessary. That is why if you read the letter very well, the secretary quoted laws. Yes. So read and pay attention to the laws first.
I have seen that.
Exactly. So it was very necessary. But when you received that letter as Parliament, you were not under any obligation to respect that letter. If indeed you didn't think that the letter was making sense, you would have dispatched the bill to them. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. If you didn't think that the laws he was referencing and the laws he was referring to made sense, you would have gone ahead and sent
So
it to
blame
them.
Parliament, not
No,
Akufo-Addo,
not
or blame
don't
the
blame
courts.
Parliament, don't blame Akufo-Addo, blame our laws.
Okay.
Our laws are clear. If somebody takes a certain action, and even especially with the kind of action Richie took, it was a preemptive action. Anything you did would have hurt the reliefs we were seeking if he was granted those reliefs. You understand what I'm saying? So it was very important that anybody that believes in rule of law would actually respect that cease and desist letter, unless you seek to do the things Sam George and co were doing. Now, Akufo-Addo didn't receive the law. So for the record, nobody should ever say that Akufo-Addo did not sign anti-LGBTQI law.
But he did not sign.
Parliament was, no, the law didn't get to him.
Yeah, but he did not sign.
No, but he did not have any law.
Yeah, so he did not sign.
Please.
So
please.
I'll bring
No,
I'll give you a
no,
chance.
he did not have any law. How do you sign something that I don't have?
Okay, continue.
What was there for him to sign?
Dennis, continue.
There was nothing there for him to sign.
Okay.
You understand? And that is the dishonesty that the NDC peddle. Akufo-Addo did not sign a law. Has Mahama signed any law barring teachers from wearing uniform? Because there's no law like that before Mahama.
Okay.
What sense is there would there be for a teacher to go and say Mahama did not sign a law barring us from wearing uniform? Is there a law before Mahama to sign barring teachers from wearing uniform? Akufo-Addo had no law before him.
Okay.
For him to even determine whether he would sign or not. Then they said that if it was dispatched to him, then he would have made his concerns known. Akufo-Addo never said in his cease and desist letter that he personally had a concern. Was anything there like that?
So let's proceed from there.
No, I'm coming. There was no, but it's important. That part is very important.
Yes.
There was nowhere in the cease and desist letter that Akufo-Addo said that he had a personal view on the law. He didn't say that. In fact, he referenced Amanda and Richard Sky.
Yes.
In the cease and desist letter. So nobody should create that impression. But that is something that the NDC benefited from. Now, you've benefited hugely from this. You've come to power. When you came to power, before you come to power, you made a promise to the people. You said, and the president himself said it, I will sign the law. That's what he said. I will sign the law. He never said, I will sign a revised law. I will sign the law.
As brought to him by Parliament.
Yes. Sam George said that if the President Mahama fails to sign the law, he was going to demonstrate or whatever. Now you've come. Just take that law that you so much believed in. The law you believed was even weak because it didn't include death penalty. Just take it to the president. You take it to Parliament. Then do you know what they have done? The same issues that Richard Sky, Amanda, and so many other people, including myself, were raising are the issues that now you are going to remove. Remember that in 2024, Akufo-Addo didn't even have majority in Parliament. So a lot of the Parliament control was more or less balanced. Now you have absolute control. You don't even need the minority to do anything. You're going to remove the things that you were forcing Akufo-Addo to sign. The thing that you are calling Akufo-Addo names for not signing. You're going to make changes.
They're being progressive. That's how the country.
So thank God for the Akufo-Addo's vision. If that is even the case, it means that Akufo-Addo had. No, I'm just making a point. If you are saying that they were being progressive, it means that those who were against it, including myself, had the vision and foresight that Sam George and Co. and those in Parliament now didn't have.
They said they've just given it further meat.
They've actually reduced the meat. If you go and remove things from the thing, what have you done? How is further meat when you remove the thing?
You have not removed. They have explained further.
They have not.
They have taken steps to clarify.
I beg you. So you knew that Richard Sky was right.
No,
you knew that Amanda was right.
No,
you knew that those who were raising concerns, like myself then, raising concerns about some of these things were right.
They said they subjected it to the Constitution, and people like Richard Sky were not fully satisfied. So that's why now they've decided to break it down.
Yeah, but so then if that is the case, then why is it that when Richard Sky and Co. went to court, seeking to bring these same things down, you were all over the country insisting that Akufo-Addo they should ignore all those things and sign? Why are you doing the water down?
Okay.
That's notwithstanding. You have done whatever you have to do. Take it to the president to sign. You have confusion now amongst yourself. This one NPP cry is not part of it. Because we don't even matter. You've passed the thing alone. Because we believe that whatever you promise the people is what you should deliver. Even though I was against the clauses, you were for it. And you won the elections on the back of those things that you were for. So me, I am not for you removing anything from the law at this point. You made a promise. You must live by it. Now you have gone back to remove it. Your speaker disagrees with your majority leader. Your majority leader disagrees with your speaker. And you guys are now fighting. And your president himself is not ready to sign.
He never said
but did Akufo-Addo also say so? Okay. Did Akufo-Addo say so?
Very well.
Your president is in London making excuses.
He's not making excuses.
He's not a member of parliament.
He's not making
excuses. He's not. What is he doing? He hasn't only put it on paper.
He said that. I
keep telling you that I'm very intelligent. I won't lie to you. I'm a very intelligent guy. You know what the way they say it in Tree? Ububa, metebe.
Okay.
Akufo-Addo put what Mahama is saying on paper.
That's the only difference.
That's the only difference. Akufo-Addo put what Mahama is saying on paper.
So one is verbatim, one is text.
But when you go to court, unverbal submissions also accepted.
They accepted.
So what are you talking about?
It's called viva voce.
He has basically sent a cease and desist notice to Parliament that they are supposed to do. They said there are some processes, procedural issues, and so he's hoping that they will resolve those issues. It's a cease and desist. Except that it's not on a green letterhead. It doesn't mean that Mahama has refused to sign, because I am too intelligent to behave like what the way Sam George and Co behaved by saying that Mahama hasn't signed when I know that the law is not before Mahama.
Thank you.
So to contextualize this conversation as I end,
I want it to end, please.
The hypocrisy of the NDC is quite glaring. They lied on the Akufo-Addo and the NPP. They misled the entire country into thinking that they love this country so much that they were passing a certain law and the Akufo-Addo and Co were against, only for them to come and attempt to water down the law. He talks about amendment. There are 31 amendments. I have the entire list here. I can take you through it. 31 amendments. How does it make sense that the law that you so much championed, all of a sudden you, the same person, must work on it, and you will remove 31 of the things from the same law? Then all of a sudden, your president should sign. The president that promised us that he was going to sign the 2024 bill, all of a sudden he's saying that there are procedural issues, so go back. That's hypocrisy. Is what people are calling out.
Thank you so much. That's Denis Miracles Aboagye. I have Dr. Osai Kwapong on Zoom. Good morning. Just let me be sure if you are there. I'll come back to you. Can you hear me, sir?
Good morning to you as well.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. The lawyer, Deputy Gaming Commission, NDC member will do a quick re-examination and then we can move on from this subject. Sam George had dealt with the matter.
Yes.
Dennis has just spoken. If there's anything you want to loose up or tie up before we can
Very
proceed.
well. I mean, good morning.
Musa, I don't think you want to talk about LGBT. Or have you done some polling on LGBT?
No, yes, I mean, before the elections, yes, what people said.
Okay, then I'll come to do that for me. Yes,
well. Good morning to my colleagues here. I think that my brother Miracles has had a very good opportunity to speak about this and an attempt to expose some things he thought are hypocritical. But I think he has not been fair to the information and what has been historically established. See, we were in this country when e-levy bill was passed. Haruna Idrisu, Ablakwa, and others went to the Supreme Court to stop the implementation of e-levy. That suit was pending. In fact, it was in May 2022 that Supreme Court finally dismissed the injunction application. By March, prior to the decision on the Supreme Court decision, Akufo-Addo has signed it.
Yeah, but that's a court. No,
it was wait. I said there was a pending injunction application.
Okay. So he should have self-injuncted.
The same principle should apply.
Okay.
That because there was a pending suit in respect of LGBT bill that was passed, Akufo-Addo could not sign the bill.
Okay.
But in that same period, there was an application, injunction application before the Supreme Court. Akufo-Addo went ahead to sign the e-levy bill. I'll give another example. University of Education, Winneba, had some challenges. I don't know whether you remember in respect of the appointment of a VC.
Yes, I remember and that. I think Apenyumaki was lawyer for.
Exactly, and the swearing in of the new VC a ceremony was scheduled for that. Mm-hmm. Now there was a pending application before the High Court in Winneba to stop that particular swearing in ceremony.
Malto advocate.
Absolutely. Nanado disregarded the application and went ahead to attend the program where the new VC was appointed. And so if you tell me that he was just complying with the rules of court and the fact that there was an application has been brought to his attention, and that is why he disregarded it, but that is why he did not sign the anti-LGBT law in 2024, then unfortunately, there's some inconsistency in how he has managed other related matters where there's an application before court. That aside, mind you that what was the essence in writing to the Clerk of Parliament? To desist and resist.
Cease and desist.
Ask yourself carefully. At that point, if there was an application before the court and has been brought to the attention of the Attorney General, it is mandatory on the Clerk of Parliament not to transmit it. If he decides to do so, whoever filed the application can decide to hold him for contempt. Donado had no business in writing to the Clerk of Parliament, in no way, to ask them not to bring the bill. And what we've said over and over is that he has other opportunities provided by the Constitution. 7-day window to let Parliament know whether he will sign or not sign. 14-day window to give reasons why he's not going to sign. For Parliament to consider those reasons, and if there's a need for an amendment, do so. But put all this aside. MPP's comment about the new bill has been that, oh no, John Mahama said he was going to sign the bill anyway, and so there is no need to make changes. But what society do we live in that we don't learn from our mistakes or learn from the views of others? In fact, even the Speaker's call for reconsideration is to consider the opinion of the minority, so that if there are inputs that are of great interest, we should consider them in a refined bill. Even though I have a challenge with the Speaker's call, because it's difficult to find any premise in law. But the question then is, Richard Sky and Co. went to court because they had cause to complain about certain portions of the bill at the time. And it was important that if this 9th Parliament has an opportunity now to review it, to pass it, and to take it to Parliament, it's important to incorporate all that in there. And what are the main concerns here? Is the exemptions. 3 main exemptions. Exemptions to lawyers, exemptions to medical, and then academics. So that where a lawyer provides...
And media.
And media, absolutely. Where a lawyer provides legal services for someone who has been accused of anti-LGBT conduct, that lawyer cannot be seen to be promoting or advocating or making anything that will bring him into question. Likewise, a medical doctor or a journalist. If a journalist publish a report or publish any story regarding anti-LGBT, that should not be seen as promotion.
So we have on the screen now the exemptions that have been captured.
Exactly. So these exemptions, and these are the main reasons why Team for Joy and others are complaining. And you're asking yourself over and over again, what exactly do they want? So shouldn't we have these exemptions? Is that your position? Is that the position? Because they keep saying that the bill has been watered down. It has been diluted. It's not the same bill that has been passed. But the question, must it be the same bill? Is this Parliament obliged to carry out work of the 8th Parliament in the same manner without reconsideration? Don't forget that new parliamentarians are in the 9th Parliament and have different views, have different perspectives to the bill. And that is what has been done.
Very well.
I really don't find any cause in this. We're just trying to score political points, and I don't see the points.
Okay. Musa, before I heard what the post said at the time.
I didn't disrupt him.
Yeah, you have done a good job. I'm very happy, proud of you. You're a good boy.
For the first time.
Duncan Amwa is also here. Duncan Amwa,
the street people.
The street people
have joined the people who know.
Yes, who know. The learned people.
The very clever guy.
A quick comment on that before we go to the next topic.
Sanda, 2 things quickly. LGBTQ plus. I think Musa should go back and help us. I'm sure most Ghanaians are not happy to hear about LGBT, although silently embedded within our communities or societies, you would find a few of these people who want to do their own thing. I think the sentiments that we, the Trotro people, also share is that, look, if for one reason or the other you decide to stray and do your own good or bad thing in your rooms, do that. We don't want you to flaunt it in our faces. And this is all we have asked Parliament to codify into a law.
Simple job.
Simple job. It's become MPP, NDC. Meanwhile, if you get onto the streets, there's no MPP or NDC about LGBTQ. I am happy when I hear the clergy, I hear the religious leaders. In fact, the chief imam has equally called on Parliament to do the right thing. Then you hear the Speaker of Parliament say that, look, as for me, I would make sure this law is passed. Finally, some way, somehow, the law is passed the previous parliament, where he was the speaker. For some technocratic reason, I was listening to my brother Dennis say that, oh, Richard had made a certain, presentation to the Supreme Court, and so there was a cease and desist. Let me be frank with my brother here. That got a lot of us Ghanaians upset. Okay.
That's why he said NDC benefited from this.
I agree with him. It is not in doubt that some votes would have been swayed to the NDC because the narrative was that, look, if it was the NDC, they would have probably signed this long ago. And so off the top of our heads, we were thinking, okay, so it is NPP that doesn't want to sign it. Okay, let's go to NDC and see. It's been a year and a half. Finally, we are told a bill has been passed. Amidst all the back and forth, whether the bill has been strengthened or weakened, we do not know. Then one of the chief proponents, who happens to be the speaker, comes to all of us to say that bring it for reconsideration. Some of us will be wondering what the speaker has seen that he probably thinks would need to be reconsidered before assent. But whatever it is, we are begging the NPP and NDC. We are not asking for this law because Taflache, they would say in Ghana, Jane will bet laws, Yamami. We have enough laws. But we want to be sure that if anybody decided to flaunt bedroom stuff in our faces, we have readily available laws to deal with that situation, and there's no doubt or dispute about it. If the two of them can come together, which I don't see happening because one seems to have benefited from the previous situation, and the other is also seeking to benefit from the current situation. But at the end of the day, when they are done benefiting from these situations, Sanda, you and I suffers. You go to the secondary schools, and some of these elements exist there. Sometimes the teachers are even aware of them. But what steps can they take to, as it were, weed them out or correct the situation? Without these adequate laws or protection, people would see, they know, they hear, they keep quiet. Recently, I was not comfortable. There was this street protest that, it wasn't a protest, a carnival of a sort, that people sought to defend. People came out literally naked. And we were defending these. These are alien to our cultural norms. Sanda, when we were growing up, Chief, you see even a man sometimes without a shirt and you are wondering, by you, what's up? Although sometimes the weather is so warm. But for women now, literally, I mean, nothing.
Showing body.
Everything showing. And the cameras are on them and there's police protection. Please.
Okay.
If we destroy the culture we have today, I was happy, was it Dennis or Sam George said...
It's a good thing, Dennis.
If it's bad, then
you see, Sam George is not here to defend. But Sandra, if we succeed, like somebody has said, this generation, we are a lost cause. Okay? Sam George is now fighting for pornography, and that if you want to watch porn, you should put an ID. Please, you should go and focus on other things. Sandra, we beg. The kind of stress people go through in this country, it is not everything they will say publicly, right? So you may not have a need for, as it were, X-rated videos.
Yes.
An elderly man in his room with his wife, 65 years, it is the only way they enjoy themselves sometimes. Please, some of these things they are not even flaunting it on mainstream TV. Sandra.
So he should not...
He should focus on other things. That one I beg him. My own.
Allow you to watch. You mean Sam George should allow you to watch your thing?
If people want to watch their thing on their devices or whatever, you see, you can put a lock.
Duncan Petre.
No, Miracle said that one with you. He mentioned you. He mentioned Miracle said he together with you. You like the women.
No.
It is then is that
Duncan Upetre. Just say it. Upetre.
Sanda. You spoke for Sanda. You said you and Sanda. There's no way you.
Let me go to Musa Dankwa. So maybe we'll do a poll for us to see whether the porn thing is popular.
I think I have to supply some information.
Oh, but okay.
No, just supply. You see, Duncan, what you need to have in your mind too is, if indeed the point you made about the law is what your concern is, then this law doesn't fix the problem. You see, I told you that there was something that happened with Hachu.
Yes.
That actually brought this whole uproar. Go and look at the law again. You'd realize that the real meat, when you pick section 2, the section 9, clause 2, that is where, in fact, section 9 says prohibition of propaganda, promotion, and advocacy. Then when you come to the clause 2, you create an exemption for some people that includes NGOs. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So I am against you trying to arrest Sanda and I because we are sharing one room. We are playing PS5 all night. Charlie, as we play, we think about the girls and we chat about them.
Where would they watch?
Where would they?
So you see, Sanda, you are coming in again.
No, I'm just making a point. No, I beg you, let me end there.
Okay.
Let me really make this point. So I'm against that one. I'm against the fact that you see Duncan and I holding hands because we did talk something, then you say you are criminal. Those are like gray areas I felt were dangerous because it was even very subjective.
Okay.
But when it comes to the promotion, that is where it has been watered down.
Very well.
Why now you are saying that an NGO can, based on their own opinion, because the exemption is there, it's clear, or a professor can.
Why don't you read the exact?
No, let me read it to you here. Let me read it to you.
It's important.
Yes. Let me read it. Let me read it.
So this
is what section 9 clause 2 read. Yes. So section 9 is a promotion and all. Clause 2 says a person shall not A, promote or support an act prohibited under this act, which were
that's all.
Which, no, wait. Let him finish. Engage in, participate in, promote or support an act aimed at changing public opinion towards an act prohibited under this act.
But that's it.
Relax. Offer premises or any other movable or immovable asset or provide any form of assistance promoting or prohibiting. This is the old law.
Yeah, okay, this is the old one. Okay.
And then it is also in the new law. Then after this new law has outlined all of these things, it creates exemptions. Then it says subsection 2 does not apply to.
Yes.
Where are you reading?
Okay. No. It's here. I'm reading
it. Does not apply
to. Are you reading to?
No, it's here. It's here.
Code the section.
No, clause 9. Clause 9. Amended. Yes, amended proposal
already.
Add the following.
So after 2.
So no. You see, I've read what 2 said.
Yes.
And so that one is codified in the law.
Yes.
Now the amendment is what I am telling you.
Okay.
The amendment is what I'm reading now.
That's what I've asked you. You've read 2, so and I said, what are you reading? Tell us what you are reading. Exactly which section are you reading?
Oh, I said section 9.
Section 9 is a whole section. And you read section 9 too.
Yes, but I can't read it. Do you want me to read everything?
It's not a lawyer. So
no, but you are giving the exemption. So give the exemption. We are educating the public.
I'm coming. So you read clause 9 too.
Yes.
The second part you read, which says it's not exception.
No, so I'm saying that I read clause 9(2) of the existing bill.
Yes.
Then I'm saying that these were very good clauses. Because for me, these are the actual clauses.
And it's maintained in this one too.
Then after it's maintained, it comes to create exemption for some people who are not affected by this clause.
He was asking which
clause are you reading? Like, specific the way the exemptions are.
Oh, but I see it. That's what I'm reading to you now.
Point it out.
The title or the heading.
So he says clause 9, subsection 2 does not apply to A.
Yeah, where are you reading this from? Where are you reading this from?
From the new bill.
Which section? Which section are you reading?
2, right?
Because he just read 9(2).
No. Okay, so see, I read 9(2)
yes.
from the existing act, the 2025 bill.
Good.
And I'm only reading the exemptions.
Yes. So what's the title of the exemption? What was the number of the exemption?
No, I'm reading the proposed amendments.
Okay.
That's what I think that's where.
Okay.
No.
That may not have
you see, we should be careful. Proposed amendments may not be part of the bill. You understand?
Okay.
So if you are going to read and educate the public, read the exact bill that has been passed. And not the proposed bill.
So this is in the bill. So this is in the bill. Unless you have the bill and you can dispute it.
I have the bill.
Okay, so dispute it when I finish.
Okay.
Wait. You said you're not making. You're not making an argument. You're providing information.
Don't disrupt me.
But you sought permission from Sanda.
No.
You sought permission. You're not making a point. You have nothing to.
No, relax.
Okay,
you are making a point.
So was he wrong?
When I finish and I'm wrong, say it. It's okay.
But what's the sub clause you are reading?
So I am now reading to you the exemptions. If the exemptions are not reflecting the law, you can say it.
The exemptions from where? The exemption must come from the bill. You can't read exemptions from a proposed amendment.
Okay.
And make that one a point.
Let me hear from Musa Dankwa, so we wrap up on this topic.
No, but see, when you seek audience, that you are going to provide us. When you seek audience, you are going to provide us information.
Hold on.
It's up to you to dispute.
Everybody hold on. Everybody hold on.
No. So I have read the law.
If it's a fact, there's nothing to dispute about.
Exactly.
So can you mention what you are reading?
Yes, let me mention the exemptions.
So you read 9
exemptions from where? The exemption must come from the bill and not a proposed amendment.
So is it a proposal or does the bill as passed?
This amendment is important. If it is part of the bill.
If I even who is proposing is very important. The question is that is it part of the bill? Exactly. Because the amendment may not have
been. Okay, so let me hear from Dennis. So what are you reading? Read the title.
Amendments proposed. Amendments proposed. Then I read the bill with the clause 2. Then there's the amendments proposed. That is why I told him that when I finish reading these amendments, these proposed amendments, and you think that these amendments are not in the bill, you are free to say it. But I am telling you that they are in the bill, and you're asking me that why in the bill. I said pick the bill and look at it. Because that is where my concern.
But you can't ask me to go through the entire bill.
But that is your
when you are making.
But that doesn't stop me from speaking.
You know what I'll do? Let me hear Musa so that we can proceed.
Let me conclude on this. It's a very important point.
You see, I gave you time enough.
No, but he disrupted me.
No, he didn't disrupt you.
We
went around the table. It was Duncan's submission that you actually came into.
I'm being truncated. I am telling you that. I have read 9.2 to you.
Yes.
Now 9.2 is very clear. Very good clauses.
Yes.
That prohibits promotion, which for me is really good.
Good.
The problem I have with the bill as it stands now, that's what I'm coming to.
Is the exemption.
Is the exemptions that has been created for academics.
Which we have listed already.
Which is fact.
Yes.
Unless you dispute it.
No, that
has been created for NGOs. Media.
Yes.
Those are the exemptions that I am saying that, Duncan, if those exemptions are allowed to stand, what it means is that it defeats what you and I are really looking for.
Okay.
That is the substance of what they are making.
Right.
Unless you dispute that those exemptions are not there.
Let me hear from Musa. Dankwa. Musa, just 1 minute so that we can move on to that.
Okay. LGBTQ+. I think Ghanaians in general support the law to curb it, to stop its promotion and them flaunting it in our face. There's cross-country support. In the poll before the last election, only Upper West opposed the bill.
Upper West?
Yes.
They opposed the bill?
Yeah, they opposed the bill. Upper West. Overall, about 59% of Ghanaians supported the bill when it was passed, compared with 32% who didn't support it, and 9% did not have an opinion about the bill. Now, if you go to the regions, every region supported it by majority. In Upper West, 72% opposed it, and only 16% supported it. In Ahafo, 38 supported it, and 45 opposed it. In Northeast, 44 supported it, and 47 opposed it. So,
really?
Yes.
They are opposed to the bill?
Yes.
Okay.
If you want to jail me from sleeping in the same room with Umanda, I will be against it.
I'm not going to sleep in the same room with Dennis.
But then the big question was, did Nanado's refusal to sign the bill impact the way you vote?
But you can't put that question. Nanado has not refused to sign the bill.
No,
there was no bill before him.
Nonsense.
That was the question that caused problems for us.
The question is, if the president does not assent to the bill, would that influence how you vote in the election? That was the question that we put.
Okay. And they said yes.
50% said no.
50?
Yes, said no.
Okay.
Only 37 said yes, and 13% said they didn't have an opinion.
So LGBT affects.
No, there was an element, but normally because there were bigger ticket issues facing Ghanaians, those who used that to vote probably were the religious fundamentalists.
Okay. I think you've clarified the matters now. Dennis, so it says that LGBT is not the reason you lost the.
Who is saying it?
No, I'm saying that's what Musa says.
No, but you know me, I don't believe Musa's data. But how but it's public. But he knows. But that one, why should you?
But he got vindicated.
From where?
You have contrary
on December 7th.
Oh, actually, plenty people predicted December 7th. The most difficult one was Nima.
But he was scientific.
That was the most complicated one. December 7th was simple.
But he was scientific.
December 7th,
you knew you were losing.
No, I'm saying that I'm saying that a lot of people predicted. Of course, if you are going for a second term, we have never had a third term government. Like nobody. So it's easy for you to tilt towards that side.
All right.
It's not difficult.
It's a norm.
Yeah, I mean,
This is a big issue
in
on-
every mature democracy.
So,
Yeah.
Umaru, for just a second.
Yeah.
You know, in all this debate and this discussion, sometimes the challenge we've had is that when we are putting out official positions or what is supposed to be in the bill, we tend to take certain proposals and then put them out as though they are part of the bill and create that challenge and problems and misleading the public. When my brother Miracles pointed out section 9.2 of the bill, he read it out. Then he was now going to exemptions that affect NGOs. We asked him to give us that portion of the bill that says so. And it says in a proposed amendment. Proposed amendment may be or may not be accepted. So it is unfair to feed the public with some of these things and make it look like it's the position of Parliament on the matter.
Thank you so much.
It's misleading.
Very well. Let's talk now about the National Democratic Congress. President Mahama will not seek re-election. The party has to choose a flag bearer. NPP has already dealt with that matter. They have a flag bearer. They are ready for battle. NDC yet to think about it. And then we saw a back and forth between two ministries. And there's a view that it's actually a flag bearer campaign undertone. Is that the case? Can the NDC deal with this matter without any bruises? John Osai Kwapon is a political analyst and a research fellow, CDD. John, should I say doctor or sir? You're welcome.
Fine.
Which one are you? Are you doctor, professor, or mister?
John is fine.
John, okay. When I say John, people would think I'm talking about John Dumelo, my brother. So, are you in his constituency? Are you in Ablekuma West? Do you vote in Ablekuma West?
No.
Oh, okay, that's fine. This public spat we've seen between two ministries is not a regular thing, is it?
Oh, I don't recall seeing any such public spat. Maybe it has happened and maybe I didn't see it or hear it, but it's unusual to see two ministries under the same government engage in such a public feud over whether a budget allocation has been released or not. I can't recall any situation like that in the past.
Okay, but should we be seeing this as a bureaucratic disagreement over budgetary allocation, or we would be forgiven if we remove a layer and say, oh, wait a minute, these two guys actually have presidential ambitions, at least that's what's been said, and that's what is playing out?
I mean, you can take the benevolent view and say that this is, is a bureaucratic spat. But in the context in which we are, and knowing that, this is a party that very soon, in the foreseeable future, will be making determinations about who gets to lead the party next. It is very difficult to remove the element, the undertones of politics from this public spat, because for me, if it is really a bureaucratic disagreement over whether truly the finance ministry has made and released funds to the agric ministry or not, and there's a disagreement over it, this is something that could have been easily resolved privately, right? Minister to minister, colleague to colleague, you write and say, it is my understanding that there is a claim that monies have been released to my ministry, but from what I know, sitting here at the ministry, no monies have been released. Find out why it has not, or if it has, why are you making those claims? But these are things that you can resolve easily privately, especially because you're colleagues in the same government, in the same party. When it becomes public, then you make yourself vulnerable to other narratives of, are there political undertones, and is there something bigger behind this public spat of, do I have my budget allocation or not?
Okay, now who can deal with this matter if we believe that it is NDC flag bearer contest that is playing out? Who's supposed to deal with it? President John Mahama, or the Council of Elders of the party, or the executives of the party? Don't forget the chairman of the party has been fingered as also being a potential. So how does the NDC deal with this matter to prevent an implosion?
So for me, all of these persons, individuals have a role to play in helping resolve this. The party leadership, the Council of Elders, have a role to play in terms of saying to some of these key figures, look, think party first, think government first. Some of these public feuds do not inure to the benefit, of the party. It can be distracting. You can lose focus. All of those things are things that the party leadership can bring some of these individuals who have been pointed out as fueling this sort of public dispute to say, take a step back, relax. How can we get this straightened up and resolved? So they have a role to play in that. The president also has a role to play because these are ministers in his government who are publicly feuding over a budgetary allocation and whatever is driving this public feud. So he also has a role to pull these ministers back to say, what is the issue? How can this resolve? How can this be resolved again without creating unnecessary distractions for the party? Because at the end of the day, yes, that contest would come, and the party eventually would pick someone to lead the party into the next election. But there is also a country to govern. There are things that the party promised the people of Ghana. And so you don't want a flag bearer race to be that thing that sort of takes focus away from the things and the issues for which you won the 2024 election that Ghanaians are expecting you to deliver. Which is why, for me, I'm hoping that those feuding, those backing the characters in the feuds would go back again and read, for me, what I believe was a very sound advice from Dr. Callistus Mahama in that piece that he wrote, which essentially his point was, look, the time to decide who leads the party will come. But what Ghanaians are going to judge us on is not who gets to lead the party and how we settled that issue. It is whether we were able to deliver the things we promised and for which they repose trust in us and elected us. That was his message to the NDC, to the key individuals involved in all of this. And for me, that should be the overarching thing that should guide those who are involved in some of these parts, some of these public feuds over if it's a succession issue, to think about delivering, because it is that delivery that Ghanaians would look on to either to reward or to punish the government.
All right, let me come in studio. Lamtik, your party, the problem has started, or?
Well, I don't think that there's a problem.
Are you sure?
Just that we are...
Or you haven't seen the statement that was issued by the PRO of the Agri Ministry? He is calling the Finance Ministry and the Minister infantile. If I have to Google infantile so that it can tell you what it actually means. No, I want to read it.
You don't need to read it.
I want to read it. Infantile.
You wanted me to read a law.
No, I want to read it. This is how the Agri Ministry PRO described the Finance Ministry headed by Ato Fortin.
And I have to hear it so I can compare.
He titled it infantile. And infantile is an adjective that refers to things characteristic of infants or the stage of infancy.
Like people are not matured.
Like people wearing diapers.
Well, whatever he said, and whatever the meaning is.
Let me read the title of the statement. The title of the statement is "Stop the infantile propaganda before it explodes." Just say it hasn't even exploded.
This is bad. Even NPP will not write this out.
And this was signed.
NPP will not write this.
And this was signed by Samuel Hunto, Media Liaison Officer, Office of the Minister for Food and Agriculture. He said that stop the infantile propaganda before it explodes. Charlie, the thing is serious.
whatever is out there, whatever is attributed to the media liaison officer, I think it's very unfortunate. He needs to be guided. I mean, these are official assignments, official duties.
I beg you, let me do this last one before you comment. I'm the one who will give you time. I'll give you time. The last but one paragraph.
Why are you putting more salt in this matter?
Last but two paragraphs.
He says, we have seen it's okay. We know the summary of the story.
Dennis said he hasn't seen the statement. Dennis, did you see the statement? So let me read it. It says,
you will never see it.
It says,
go and find the law in the
It says, public financial management is governed by official allotments, cash releases, and actual budget availability, not by public relations narratives or propaganda. The Ghanaian people deserve transparency, accuracy, and honesty in the management of public finances, particularly in a sector as critical as agriculture and food security. Chada is very serious. This from a low officer.
I will repeat what I said, and I will say it again.
It is simple.
It's very unfortunate. Yeah. He needs to be guided. Such statements will create unfortunate situations at the ministry and create problems for everyone. I mean, whether payments have been made or not made, it's a matter of fact that can be established anytime, because these are transactions, these are documented transactions which can be traced. And so I don't expect that someone from the ministry who is a media liaison officer will speak in the manner he did. I pray that, unlike Afenyo Markin's account that was compromised, I pray that these are not compromised documents from his outfit. But whatever it is, it's unfortunate. I know that some are drawing into some are drawing this into trying to create the impression that there's some challenges in the NDC.
There is none.
Following up to the flag bearership and all that. Naturally, when the party is in power and the president's term is about ending, there will be all this going on because
the president's term is not about ending. No. It's 2.5 years more.
Yes, he still have 2.5 years. So that's why the call by Dr. Callistus is very relevant and very important, because I mean, we are nowhere near the transition period to see this happening. But of course, some people think that they can be early birds. Some people think that they have early interest and they need to put their foot out there first. Whatever it is, it may also be some perception that we are fueling it out there and not really the reality. But it is expected that times like this, you will see some of these things do happen. All we need to do is let's slow down, let's be calm and manage our situation better. We haven't even gotten to the real race yet. The time will come for us to deal with it. But I'm sure in a few days, the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Agri would resolve this, and this issue will be put to.
Okay. As an piety, Dennis, you have gone through this before, so maybe you can advise how.
Dennis, I use less than 30 seconds to explain.
because you cannot talk.
Yes, you don't have anything to say.
Kafra.
Be careful. So Sanda, I think that the president, wherever he is, I think I hear he's in Belarus.
Yeah, he's in Belarus.
Minsk. You should put the finance minister on a Zoom call ASAP. All these troubles and problems are stemming from the finance minister.
Oh, how? He didn't issue a statement.
No, you don't worry. But he triggered this whole conversation.
His deputy, actually.
Yeah, but the deputy only represents the minister. Yeah, he triggered this whole conversation. And I think, first of all, that was needless. You don't have to lie. I'm not the one calling him a liar. The Agric minister is calling him a liar. He didn't have to lie on the Agric minister.
No, I can't even ask you to withdraw because you are hiding behind
the point. I'm just speaking to the issue. Because immediately you mentioned it. I can't say untruth. The guy said he's lying. I cannot say different. I can't use a different word. Immediately you mentioned the statement. I had gone to read, so now I have read.
Oh, now you read it. Within 5 seconds, you managed to read the whole statement.
No wonder he's called miracle.
And Sanda, let me tell you something. I have been saying this, and I'll come to the matter, but I've been saying this for the past 2 months, and the NDC, they keep playing with it. You see, the NDC, if you study them from 1992 till now, this is the only time they actually have to deal with what all political parties truly deal with.
Which is?
See, 1992 all the way to 2000 was Rollins. He was completely in charge. Then he planted his guy, Atamils, on them. And you see, the thing about political parties is that immediately you get the mantle, for somebody to take it away from you is very, very difficult. Until you are done, it's almost impossible for anybody to take it from you. You feel like, look at all the political parties, and not just NPP, even in mature democracy. You look at it.
No, I'm saying once you hold a steer, nobody.
Now, eventually, when Atamils came, it was Atamils until unfortunately he passed. Automatically, they had like 6 months elections, so the vice president stepped in. And the vice president picked Misata. Then there was a seeming attempt to have an internal contest, but the guy was a sitting president. Funka Games. It was almost...
The Funka Games was against Mills.
No, yeah. This one was Kojo Bonsu and Dofo and Co. Against Mahama. It was a non-starter because the guy was the one sitting on the chair now. So this is the first time. This is the first time
when he was in opposition.
This is the first as a leader. He was already a former president.
Contested when he was leaving 2016.
The point I'm making is that he was in charge of the party as a de facto leader on the back of being the sitting president as they came to opposition. Everybody was running to him. In opposition, it was even better for him because he is the man that everybody was going to. This is the first time it is now an open for all contest. Open for all. Everybody now has to come in.
Even 17 people can go.
Or everybody, they can even be 50. I'm telling you, if we don't take care of him, by next year we can have 50. The names Musa is mentioning, they are not the only name. But he keeps adding. Initially, he started with that.
I thought you don't rely on Musa. Why do you not be careful?
But why his data is, I don't believe.
You don't rely. You don't
he doesn't believe in Musa and his data, but he can reference.
But that's appropriating and reprobating. You can't be saying that I disregard this and yet is my
have I used it?
No, he's just saying that even Musa, who he does not trust.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
So he's not appropriating and reprobating.
And yet you are relying on it.
I'm not relying on it for
anything. He's just using it for argument.
I'm using that even him, who I don't trust his data, keeps adding on people. Oh, he's a Democrat. He understands. Keep adding on people.
Do you know he's an Achim?
Yeah, I know. I know everything.
He can trim one super.
No, before
from his place.
Are you from the same place?
Yes. My father from the same place.
Before I go into a debate with you,
Mm.
you know I don't do emotional debates. I stick to the facts. Yeah. So I know everything. I'm very much. I stayed on the issues. Okay. I disagree with him 100%. I am the only Ghanaian that 100% disagrees with him.
No, Paul Adumochi also.
Yeah, maybe Paul and I. Yeah, Paul and I, we have a lot in common. But let me come to the substantive matter. So Umaru, this is the first time they're actually going to go through this. But you see, there's something going on in this government. And John Mahama number 2, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama number 2, is gradually turning out to be one of the weakest, or probably the weakest leader this country is seeing since 1992.
Oh, how?
Not because he is weak, but he's choosing to be weak. It's as if he doesn't even care.
Like failing to fire his finance
minister. Yeah, he doesn't care. You see, and that was the danger. That was the danger some people were pointing to us when a president who had lost elections, gone home for 8 years, was seeking to come back. If we want to see a dead goat, we are not going to see it in John Mahama now. Because what is happening? Tell me since 1992 when it happened. Maybe the only one that beats this is when Rollins beat Akar.
It wasn't a beat, it was a slap.
Slapped Akar. That is probably the only incident that can beat this. That 2 cabinet ministers of 2 of the most important real sectors of our economies who sit in cabinet are doing this publicly. See, initially, I was expecting it to be amongst their followers. You let it be an unscrupulous spokesperson that has written something, and
but
then another
minister who has spoken.
Please, you are pretending not to know the issues. 11 p.m. last night, I haven't slept for 3 days because I care about this country, and we cannot allow our leaders to. So I've been awake. 11 p.m. last night. That was when the Agric Ministry.
How did 11 p.m. become last night?
Agric Ministry, 11 p.m. last night. That was when the Agric Ministry
issued
an additional statement officially on their letterhead.
But signed by media relations units. The guy, Hunto, has not been made to sign that one.
Exactly.
Which is higher than...
civil servants. This is coming directly from the minister.
No, not signed by him.
No, you don't understand.
Go ahead.
You are a PR person.
Yes.
The PR, when I say I release a statement on behalf of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, it's Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
It is him speaking, yes.
Exactly. So don't come and make it look like the ministers don't know what is going on.
Dennis, go ahead.
Let me tell you something. In the course of the day, the Ministry for Finance lied against the Agric Minister.
Allegedly.
No, the Agric Minister said he lied. Then the Agric Minister came back and said, no, the Finance Minister rather is lying and being infantile and peddling propaganda. Then the Finance Ministry released data to prove that the Agric Minister is lying.
Yeah.
That he is speaking the truth.
Yeah.
Then the Agric Ministry came back with data to disprove. They came back with some commitment letter and allotment letter to prove that the Finance Minister is the one lying. I believe both of them. Both of them are speaking the truth. No, they are both speaking the truth.
Okay.
Eric is telling me the truth when he says Ato is a liar. Ato is telling me the truth when he says Eric is a liar. So they are both speaking the truth. Then, midnight, close to midnight, Eric now releases a statement.
Honorable Eric.
Oh, I mean, like footballers and politicians, as far as there's no respecter of age or, so forgive me. Everything is blanket Honorable His Excellency. Releases a statement. Now giving official details of releases to him, which completely disproves the finance minister's position. And that for me is where I find it very alarming. And my worry stems from the fact that I am now beginning to understand why certain bad things are happening in our agri sector, especially with cocoa farmers. That since October 2025, cocoa farmers in this country have not been paid.
Cocoa farming is under finance ministry.
I'm coming. Okay. Please, let me make my point.
Yeah, but if you say something that I have to correct.
Am I not speaking about both agri and finance ministers?
Yeah, but you're talking about starvation of funds to agri ministry.
I haven't said starvation. Why are you using that word? I'm saying now I understand why certain things are happening in the agri sector.
Yeah, but agri sector doesn't include the cocoa.
Cocoa is agri sector. But it is only administratively. No, please. Don't you see when you distract me? I'll debate you and then you are wrong. I am saying that now I understand why certain things are happening badly in our agri sector. Cocoa is the bedrock of our agri sector. Where it sits administratively is a different matter.
No problem. Proceed.
Now, if cocoa farmers are owed since October 2025, if cocoa farmers have seen haircuts for the first time since 1992, or close to the 100 years of doing cocoa in Ghana, this is the first time cocoa farmers are seeing haircuts. It is because Ato and Eric are fighting. And I explain to you. Eric was the champion of cocoa for the opposition NDC when NPP was in power. Cocoa was seated directly under Agric Ministry when NPP was in power. Immediately, Eric was appointed Agric Minister. Ato took cocoa from Agric and brought it to finance.
Oh, Ato does not have such powers.
Oh, let Ato come and speak.
No, but you know that. Oh, but we all understand.
You speak for Ato.
No, Balanti, you submitted you didn't.
You are disrupting me. See, you made a lot of wrong things.
I understand the power of a finance minister. So you
and the finance minister can take an agency and place.
Maybe the president. That was the president's priority.
I will even come to that one. I'll come to that one.
Okay.
Ato strips.
You have 5 minutes.
Thank you. Ato strips. Oh, Charlie, but you are disrupting me a lot.
I actually gave you more, but you yielded.
Because I can actually give you the time to speak if you want. Yes. On this matter. Should I give you the time to speak on this matter?
Dennis, proceed.
Ato strips the cocoa sector from Agric Ministry and brings it to finance. So now, the Agric Minister, who is supposed to, as part of the critical Agric, sector, deal with cocoa, has nothing to do with cocoa.
But he has cashew, he has...
I am just talking about cocoa. You can talk about cashew when you have your turn. Now, let me also go to the other issue. So apart from the Agric, Eric and Ato's banter, there are other undertoning issues in the government that is affecting our economy. And that is why from day one, I keep telling you, there's been a contradictory economic management in this country. Where we are seeing sexy macroeconomic indicators not reflecting the microeconomy. I said it here some time ago. How is it that every other thing is going down in terms of the macroeconomy, but you, Citi, your research shows that foodstuff keeps increasing. Prices of foodstuff keep increasing. Listen, for the last almost 2 years, let's say 1.5 years that this finance minister has been in place, every macroeconomic indicator has broken every history and record. And yet, we have the highest level of transport cost. We have seen unprecedented increase in electricity in the 12th calendar month, 24%. We have seen unprecedented increase in 12 calendar months for water, 15%. Teachers have worked for 15 months, they cannot be paid. Cocoa farmers have received haircuts in the history of this country's cocoa production. They are owed from October 2025 into billions. That is not even all. Cocoa from last season is stuck in the rooms of farmers. In fact, it is estimated that almost about 90,000 tons of cocoa is stuck because the cocoa crusher people say they don't have money to buy. And they are afraid that if they collect it, it becomes debt on them and government will not pay. Like the ones they've already given to government and government hasn't paid. Listen, there are serious issues in this country. Very serious issues. And if we don't speak to these issues and we continue to water it down, we wake up one day and everything is there. Look at what is happening. Almost every good indicator that you saw towards the end of 2025, which you, yourself, Duncan, and the rest, which I agreed with you, were praising this government for, is all coming back to ground zero.
You have 2 minutes. Let's go.
Today, fuel that, I don't mind, I can even leave the thing. Today, fuel that you met at 14.9 is inching towards 16. So did we go or did we come? Meanwhile, it was one of the things everybody was praising you for. Everything seems to be heading back to where you took it from. So when Eric is complaining, Eric has a point. The PMMC, you know, it was an allowance. It has been moved to finance.
Okay.
PMMC.
PMMC is gold board, or?
It was under, yes, you know, it was under lands. It has been moved to how do you call it?
Finance.
For finance. There are almost about 4 or 5 institutions that used to be in other ministries that Ato has crawled all of them under finance. Today, go to education ministry. Haruna is just a toothless boot. He's just sitting there doing nothing. You know why?
No.
But I'm telling you that you are saying,
You cannot say he's
I'm
there
telling you
doing
that you are saying,
What do you mean by he's there doing
I'm
nothing?
telling you that you are saying,
No.
Everybody in this country, except you, who is pretending, knows that the Get Fund CEO, the Get Fund CEO, the Get Fund CEO
Dennis,
is actually having, but if you come and debate me, I'll debate you. I'm supposed to be debating, and you are debating me. I'm telling you that if you go to Get Fund, the Get Fund CEO that's supposed to be reporting to the education minister is basically not speaking to the education minister. He reports to the finance minister. I am telling you, I'm not saying they are saying. Senate used to sit at Ministry for Labor and Employment. Today, it has been brought to finance. These are all issues going on in the government. So if you see these institutions struggling and they are not doing well, put it squarely at the doorstep of Ato Forsen. And you see, a lot of people have been quiet in this government for a very long time. You and I met here some time ago, and I was telling you about how when you go and read the 2025 budget, it tells you glaringly what is happening. The 2025 budget, when we ended the year, had just about 30% of government planned expenditure actually executed. Ministries were being starved.
So you said the president should be
institutions
with
were being starved.
So what should the president do in wrapping up?
Institutions were being starved because, according to the Minister for Finance, he decides who his favorite is, and he has 2 favorites: the Roads Minister, who he is pushing really big, and then the Energy Minister. If you are not Ato's favorite, you don't get funded, and woe betides you if you put up your name and it finds yourself in the forecasting, then you are in trouble. Then Ato will begin to clip your wings. That is why Eric is complaining. Haruna is there. The other guy cried here. His matter is a different matter altogether.
Which other guy?
But I'm not the one. The chairman called him the other guy. I don't know. I'm looking for him. The other guy, his matter is a different matter. Then you come to the chairman general himself, who is waiting in all of this and looking at all of them. The biggest question is, where is the president?
He's in Minsk.
It's been happening for 48 hours at least. Where is the president? The fact that even at 11 p.m. yesterday, a statement was still released should tell you that the president just doesn't care, or he's enjoying it. Because if he's not enjoying it,
or it's not a big issue.
If he's not enjoying it, and he doesn't see this as a big issue, then it's pathetic that 2 cabinet ministers are having such open spats, open attack at each other, calling themselves infantile, calling themselves propagandists, calling themselves liars. If the president of the republic doesn't think that this is a serious issue, then we are in trouble. But as I conclude, mine is not to tell the president what to do. He has always been a dead goat. So he may not necessarily even pay attention to me. Mine is to simply tell the president that whilst your people jostle and wrestle for power, let it not affect my transport fare. Let it not affect flooding areas. You had about 16 or so promises that you said you were going to do to deal with our flooding. You haven't implemented even one. I think we'll come to that one. You haven't even implemented one. But as long as these things are affecting me, and are affecting my cousins and my friends, it is of an issue that the president must address.
Thank you, Dennis.
Ultimately, mine is to choose which side I am on. He hasn't told us. For me, I am on both sides. Both seem to score. Ato is right. Eric is right. Both of them are speaking the truth, and I believe both of them. The president must act.
You are approbating and reprobating. Lamtik, you can do a quick 1 minute.
But if he does the 1 minute, would I do it?
No, I'm giving. No,
how many minutes?
I gave him minutes, which he yielded.
I'm just giving. He's going to make go on. Give him 10 minutes. Give him 10 minutes. Let him speak.
Miracle has spoken. He's made certain allegations and making certain attributions to Ato. I mean, Ato has no power to remove any agency and bring it under
the president is behind him.
I mean, whatever realignment of any agency would be the decision of the president, and it is for the good cause. I mean, bringing the Senate, bringing the ministry, the cocoa sector under the finance ministry are matters that are decided by the president and other two. To create this impression out there that Atu is doing this is unfortunate. And it's very misleading.
I'm not the one saying it. A Greek minister said Atu is sabotaging.
Please let him speak.
A Greek minister said that Atu is sabotaging.
Dennis, you are sabotaging my show now.
For the first time I'm disrupting you, so you are worried.
Okay. Please proceed.
Likewise, he makes certain wild allegations about the president being the weakest. Come on.
You mentioned Akufo-Addo.
This would never happen. We lived in this country when Akufo-Addo was the president. His own party members, his MPs, stood out and said, listen, remove the finance minister.
You wish there was MP. Cabinet minister, there's nothing worse than that. Cabinet, that one the president controls them. He doesn't control MPs.
Will you continue doing this?
I will, because you did it to me. I will not listen to you.
80 members of parliament.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Did a press conference.
Yes. He refused.
Who are independent?
Several times.
Cabinet ministers, 2 cabinet ministers.
Dennis.
One of Akufo-Addo's core reasons for keeping Ken at the point is that he was leading the conversation with IMF, and therefore you should keep him there. I mean, several decisions of Akufo-Addo, thank me for this. Several decisions of Akufo-Addo clearly showed how weak he was. But you see, my question is not to decide among the president, the 2 presidents, who is the weakest, because it will be as though I'm endorsing.
We know who is the weakest. Mahama is. We know.
That is your opinion. I will leave it to hold it. It's your choice of words you want to use. Go ahead. But to go ahead and even describe the president as a dead goat, it's very unfortunate.
Who described it?
Very. You did so. You said so.
He did himself.
You said so. Please.
He did himself.
So.
But he is. He did himself, and he is. Or you don't think he is?
For me, I think that these issues will be resolved, and we'll see the end of it very soon. Okay. Let's move on.
All right, Musa. They say you are the cause of all these problems. You are the one who kept mentioning names of people and saying they are. He's supposed Atu.
He's the one that has brought Atu on top at once.
No, he didn't bring Atu.
He did.
The supporters.
I've just told you, he's the one that brought Atu.
I think that is the belief of some of these guys in NPP. They think the numbers that comes out there is my own imagination. And indeed, if that logic is correct, then I supported Bawumia. And that was an allegation that was leveled against me.
Okay, because you put Bawumia on top.
But he was leading.
He didn't put Bawumia on top. It was obvious. Bawumia was doing his own thing. He tapped in. It was tap in. When you tap in into something that is happening, you didn't put him there.
No problem. But
when it comes to Atu, he put him there.
No, I'm saying that he tapped in.
But
I thought that he put him there. Nowadays,
allow Musa.
The record shows that Atu never led from April 2025 until March 2026. That is the record. The record shows that it has always been led first by Jenana and then by Haruna Idrisu all the way till December 2025. Now, what has happened between 2025 and 2026? And Atu led for the first time.
But when did Mosquito lead, or Mosquito never led?
There are 2 types of polls.
Okay.
One among general voters who express who they prefer to lead the party. They don't vote. That is what Atu is leading.
Okay.
So if you are worried that he's leading, don't worry. Those people don't vote.
Okay.
Among the delegates, the first poll was in 31st March to 4th April. General Mosquito led by 28%. In the second poll a week after, it's still led by 29%. So Atu is not leading in the delegate as we speak today. So that is the fact, and that is the record. So people should not be throwing numbers here and there and say we put Atu something. Look, we tell you the truth. Whatever we hear from the public, that is what we will tell you. You can disagree with it. You can go and do your own and believe in it. We have no issues with that. But we, as Global Info, do not add a single vote to anybody's number or take away a single vote from anybody's number. What you see is what you get.
Okay, so the issue is, can this, your polling thing and how it is looking, be attributed to what we've seen between the 2 ministers? Do you think it should be?
Look, I'm a finance person and I know government works in the way the government works, the Ministry of Finance and releases. There are other ministers that are crying the same thing that are not in the contention. Okay. What about them?
So it's not as if Atu is mafia and people who are
I'm just looking at it. You see, in government, we have budget approved by Parliament. You will not get the entire budget released to you.
The actual.
There is also an element now that has been added, authorization, commitment of authorization, which is you have to seek permission before you go and commit the government into a liability. When that comes to you, and you go on to procurement, and that is approved, you start procuring. The release of the money comes later, right? The release comes to later. So the fact that you have been allowed to commit means you can sign a contract. Just that the money will not come to you to pay. But when the money is being so-called released, it goes to Controller and Accountant General. They wait for the GRA to bring the money before the money is given to you. So finance doesn't have their own money unless it's a project finance where they've secured funding for a specific project, sitting somewhere in the bank. When you come, it goes to you. So those may be differences where you can see these issues. But look, a government that came from life support cannot have cash sitting there and be dashing out. So issues will arise, and I think they have to find a way of dealing with it as politicians. Okay. But the poll, what the poll is simply doing is that we are telling you what people are telling us. And if you look at one side of the poll, which is very important, which I always mention, the poll has told us that people would like to judge you by performance, like to judge you by your vision, and like to judge you by how they deem you have played a good part of this government performance. So if these are the top three issues, what should be your focus as a minister or as a potential contender? Is to focus on what will make you perform, what will make you be seen as a part of as a team player, and that doesn't involve infighting. And when you infight, that will not show that you are performing. That will not show that you are a good part of the government, and that will not spell out your vision that you have espoused in your ministry. So that you focus on what they are looking for rather than where they are in the polls.
Should it be them who should be doing this, or the president who is their boss? Should he be the one getting involved in this matter and possibly sacking or calling them to order, or they themselves should do an introspection?
Look, as a minister, we are probably over a year away from the process. But you cannot tell them to sit aloof and wait until that time. That will be too little, too late. Some will do exploratory work, research, to see their chances, and that should be allowed. There should be general guidelines on what they can do and what they cannot do, so that they don't cross the line. And when you cross the line, then the man must crack the whip.
Okay. Duncan, the internal party matters will definitely come up. What should be the role of the president in preventing what we are seeing? Because it looks a bit ugly, what we have seen between the two ministries.
Sanda, indeed, the NDC would have a lot of controls they would need to, exercise. Some people disagreed with the party's earlier position that if, of course, you are holding a public office and you need to get a party position, you should resign. People disagreed, but eventually and overall, there's some wisdom being seen in that. It is difficult sometimes to control resources and also position for a certain position. And so if people decided to do what regular people do, Sanda, if I'm competing with you for your seat, I'll make sure that your designer or the clothing guy who sews beautifully.
He's called Huchi, he's in Ashaiman.
I'll make sure Huchi doesn't even have a place to sew.
You burn down his shop?
Possibly. I'll let the flood remove the shop and Huchi himself will be,
will be floating.
Yeah, will be floating so that you don't even get anything to wear to come and sit here. So these challenges clearly will hit the NDC government. And I do think that for everyday people like me, what the vote for the government to do is to give them jobs, is to give them a very level playing field so that even if they have businesses, they can be able to sustain those businesses and sustain their families. When you wake up to such, back and forth between two powerful ministries, one that controls everything I eat,
in the purse,
and one that controls, everything currency, then there's a problem. And I do think that unlike Dennis, who chooses to believe both of them, I believe none of them.
Okay.
Then
the same thing.
No, I believe none of them.
Then it's the same thing. The same thing.
Then we are the same.
You are just like they.
We are not the same.
Equal number of.
Sanda, I'm
We
not
balance
the
each
same.
other.
You have, if you believe one of them, then you are not the same.
One is telling the truth.
He believes both, so he thinks that both are true.
But they are noble men.
I don't believe in it because I think that both are not right.
No, NPP doesn't have propaganda secretary, but then
so
he's taking that. He's not taking that.
I think.
What is right? Who is right?
Dennis.
Okay, the what is right? Who?
Dennis. But if you believe both, then you are wrong.
Yes.
No.
Because fact is sacred. And when two people are, at loggerheads over a matter, like what happened in the king's palace in the Bible, two women brought a child and said, Solomon. This is mine, Solomon, right? The two cannot be right.
So who? You've done the what? We agree.
The two cannot be right.
Who is right?
But the two can be wrong.
What is right? We agree. But
the two can be wrong.
No, this one. What the one is right?
It says both are wrong.
I think both are wrong.
Both of them are wrong. They are lying. Both of them are lying.
Both of them are lying. I don't believe any of them.
Oh, so they are both lying. That's also I agree with you.
You don't agree with me.
I agree with you.
You don't agree with me.
Then it's okay. It's okay.
I agree with you. Both are lying.
But Sanda, at the heart of all of this, okay, is the economy.
Yeah.
And Dennis fantastically cites that Cocoa Board had to be moved from a Greek ministry to finance. I think that if you listen to Atoforsen earlier, when he assumed the finance ministry role, two of the critical institutions that he had problems with had to do with ECG and had to do with Cocoa Board. I don't know about Go Board or PMMC and how it found its way the other way, but at least for Cocoa Board, for ECG, I was at a forum where we were discussing, even before the election, the amount of debt that sat in both books, ECG, Cocoa Board. So I will not be surprised that at some point
he doesn't trust
they
Eric
would
to
want
manage the debt.
Well, Eric, you created the debt.
Yes, so he doesn't trust Eric to manage it.
But he's a finance minister, so
at some point,
the same thing.
If those decisions are come to, maybe fair and well. So those are your words. So I haven't said he doesn't trust.
Then ignore him.
Okay.
I'm analyzing.
Ignore him.
So
his microphone is off.
You might come to a point where certain tough decisions will be made. If these decisions are made and the recipient does not receive the decision as maybe one for the country, but it is one that is politically aligned or tainted, I have an interest in the presidency you do, as is being circulated out there, and for which reason I would stifle you. Because if you go to the Greek ministry, really, if you are looking for a cash cow, really, it would have been Cocoa Board.
Yeah.
But then again, Ato comes and Cocoa Board is not a cash cow. It's bleeding or hemorrhaging so badly that he has to take drastic measures. So whilst he might be right on one hand, on the other hand, if you listen to Dennis, he might be wrong.
Because Eric can handle it. Eric knows cocoa. That's what I'm saying.
So you see, Sanda, I am telling you why I don't trust the two. I don't believe either of them. But you see, at the heart of all of this, there's a very important point either Dennis or Lamtek made. A very important point.
If it's important, it's Dennis. If it's not, then it's Lamtek. Let's continue.
Sanda, I think at this point you've been hoodwinked by Dennis's.
He miraculously continue.
You see, at the heart of all of this is the Ghanaian people looking for the planting for whatever
jobs.
That one was Akoto.
Oh, I even forgot one.
I forgot that. Wait, Dennis, you are taking all my time.
Sorry.
You see, the government itself says that I'm going into a Nkoko Nkiti program.
They took you from Eric.
I'm going for fertilizer. If you read the Greek minister's last, statement, you get a sense that some of the budgetary lines, the most that has been provided for is 15%. We've already crossed half year, the first 6 months. I would think that beyond the back and forth, the finance ministry should see to it that the ministries are not stifled. Okay. Because once you do, you are not stifling the minister. You are stifling the hundreds of thousands or millions of farmers, right? Who would probably require. Personal. It shouldn't be personal. I don't think that, even if I don't like you, Sanda, right? And you are my keenest competitor. And you also had an institution that I need to provide funding for. Beyond you probably will be the poor farmer in Bompurugu who is waiting for fertilizer.
And ultimately, it's the government that would suffer if...
The government will pay for it.
But again, we can't prove that it's true that Ato is stifling the ministry deliberately.
If you go through, I saw what Dennis was referring to as the 11 p.m. statement. If you go through that, and indeed, it's true, then Ato should sit up and ensure that funds get to the ministries, because without the ministries coming on to work, it becomes difficult for the government to sustain anything.
Right.
I am not surprised that suddenly the city is losing some grounds, right? If you don't sustain food production and you continue to import, you would lose. So they may not like each other, they may like each other, they may be brothers, they may not be brothers. But government work should not suffer simply because people have their aspirations. Sanda, you and I do, but we will not let Ghana suffer because we have our own aspirations.
Thank you, Donkwa.
One day you become a lawyer, one day I become a GPR2 chairman, but whatever we do,
I'll represent you.
You should be able to represent.
Thank you, Donkwa. Thank you, Donkwa.
Duncan basically attacked Eric.
He didn't attack Eric.
That if what he saw is true, the thing is on our Greek
Let's leave it. People, my time is almost up. I need to. Dr. Osai-Kwapon, do I have you? Do I have Dr. Osai-Kwapon? Control, do I have Dr. Osai-Kwapon still? I don't have him. Okay, let's do 2 minutes each and deal with the flooding in the city and how the government should handle it. For 100 years now, we still have problems with flooding. 2 days ago, we nearly had another June 3rd. What are we getting wrong? The whole capital nearly came to a standstill. There was lockdown in many areas because of flood situation. Is it the case that we are not serious with our works issues, or is the indiscipline of the people? 2 minutes take each, so we can, and starting with Lamtik, they'll come around.
I think that over the time, we have not taken these issues of flooding in Accra seriously. And whenever it's rainy season, we see the effect of it. I mean, there's been a lot of lip service about it and government interventions in the past that should today reflect on a better management of flooding situations in Accra. But unfortunately, we are not seeing it. I mean, in the past 2018, 2019, 2020, there were programs. The Garrett project, for instance. Then we have the National Flood Control Program that were introduced by the previous government. A lot of money committed into it. I will just read out a press release by the Ministry of Works and Housing at the time, Asensu Boakye. Is Boakye? Yes.
Who?
Asensu Boakye, yes.
Okay.
When he was Minister
for Bantama.
And the amount of money that has been committed into it, he pointed out certain areas that were going to benefit from this project. And these are some of the critical areas that today we see a lot of flooding. So it tells us clearly that the resources we committed in the past, or we claim to have committed, truly is not reflecting in the results that we are getting. I understand that there are human failures, like our waste disposal, the poor building on waterways and all that. But the key of it all is enforcement and engineering.
Let's strengthen that.
Let's strengthen engineering. Let's enforce the laws. I mean, we've seen some demolitions before, and I must commend the Greater Accra Regional Minister and the ministers who started some of these demolitions exercises. And you can tell that the demolition exercise has not really reflected in the flood management, because we've seen really bad situations.
So there's more to be
and
done.
We are also told that we have not even seen worse rainy situations yet.
They're not starting.
So it means there's worse to come, and we need to work hard at it.
Very well. Thank you, Lamtik. Musa.
Look, our problems are many. If you look at infrastructure-wise, he mentioned Garrett project. There was one before Garrett, the Conti project. That was about almost 600-something million US dollars. It never happened because we went to IMF. Some of the IMF conditions did not allow us to access those funds. So that work that was meant to have delivered some relief didn't come out. Then you have sanitation issues in Greater Accra, which Garrett has a sanitation component, and that I don't know how far that went. And people's attitude towards sanitation is so appalling. If you look at the bridges that you are supposed to take in water, debris, garbage are blocking it. And we don't know what is happening.
There's
what
one that affected me. Someone selling wood. The wood entered it.
And they blocked it. That's it.
Then the whole road was made.
Then you have the assemblies and the
cutting corners.
Cutting corners, and you see a building directly in the middle of the road. They will see it going up slowly. They will say nothing.
No, they will stop work.
And nothing happens.
But they'll collect something.
Yes, and I know what they've been doing. So look, we have to be serious. I think there should be consequences for MMDAs who are supervising some of these things. If after this year we take a stock of what we're going to do, and after next year we see another building springing up in those areas, I think those guys should be fired.
Dennis, you are a former DCE.
He said he's given his 2 minutes.
They say you who are not doing a good job at the local government level.
It's the central government. No, the central government people.
You were in charge of making sure the central government goes to the local.
No,
you've done both. You've been DCE, you've been at the central.
Yeah, I lost elections. I've moved on. Forget about me. We are talking about the current flooding.
But you left behind the elections.
That's why we lost the elections, please. That's why we lost the when we're losing.
No,
the
I'm
elections.
talking to you as a former civil servant.
Forget
or is it
about,
public servant?
I've never been a civil servant.
Public servant.
I'm saying that there's a government in place. They've inherited assets and liabilities. One of the assets is gold, which they are gaining on hugely. One of the liabilities, which is an enduring liability, they left it and they've come back to meet it, flooding. They have to keep their eye on it and fix it. So that the question you should be asking right now is, what do they say? Oh, but you didn't fix it in 2015. You didn't. So
no, he said they failed. That's why they lost the elections. So
but that's why we lost elections. Okay, and you lost elections in 2016 after June 10, 2015.
That's a candid admission.
Oh, see, Charlie, see, this disruption they do. If I do some, no, they will tell
no, you won't get a chance to disrupt him again. So you let go.
So the point is that you failed in Mahama number 1 to deal with flooding, which led to one of the most devastating disasters in this country. And then you came back. When you were coming back, you came back with promises on how you're going to deal with flooding. In fact, this is the only president who actually in opposition said it on a campaign tour, even actually put it on Facebook, that the president of the day is the one that should fix flooding in Ghana. The Facebook post is still there. If you give me that, I'll read the entire post for you. So the people were clear in their minds that if the president of the day is responsible for dealing with flooding, then when you become president, you fix it. You have been president for 1.5 years. In fact, the first things this government did was one of those their settings, was to put some people in helicopter, fly above Accra, and say they are flood task force, led by the deputy chief of staff, Standubi. Oh,
I don't remember.
You posted it. You even have the videos on your website. You don't read your newsroom. I read it every day.
I said I don't remember.
It's there. Google right now, you find it.
Standubi leads helicopter ride.
Yes. And actually, he's the chairman of the task force.
Yeah. They were set up. That I remember.
Yes. And they were flying with military men following them and all of that. So the question is, if we are seeing such flooding now, it shouldn't just be, as for Accra is floods. We should be hearing from that committee today, what have you done since your inauguration and you're flying in the helicopter?
Okay.
And why are we seeing this? We do not expect you to end flooding in 1 year in Accra.
But there should be steps that have been put
because you've been flying. So because you spend taxpayers' money to be flying over Accra. Because it pains me. It pains me that you put yourselves in an helicopter ostensibly to fix a problem, and the problem comes back in a worse form.
They went to gather data.
No. So what have you done with the data? And Umaru is a serious matter. See, last night somebody called me when it started running around 3 a.m. You know what the person called me? I have flooded 4 times where I live. And you see, if you've been flooded before, you know that when you get flooded,
it's traumatic.
You don't even recover 90% of your things.
Yeah.
In fact, if you don't take care, you may even rip apart your home, and because the flood, the things it comes with.
It enters and carries everything.
I'm telling you, I have seen snakes in my home after flooding before. Yeah. I have gotten out of my bed. I was asleep, banging. I thought it was armed robbers. I was late tonight, 2 a.m. I woke up. Everywhere was dark because the light had gone off. Only for me to step down in my bedroom and water was here.
How can I be here and you are lying?
No, I'm seated. I'm seated.
No, we know you are not tall. We know you are not tall. We appreciate your height.
I'm seated. No, I'm seated. I'm seated.
Dennis.
How does you get a water on your chest?
No, Dennis. I think I agree with
No,
you.
I'm seated.
If you are lying down and the water is actually here, then you should have covered
No,
you.
when you're lying down, when he stood up,
Unless he was on a bunk bed. Were you on a bunk bed? No, we are not trivializing.
I still have videos. I mean, I'm seated. That's why I did this. But on my compound, I couldn't even move my car. I had to carry the kids on my neck.
Sorry.
And take them
you're not
out.
even tall. That's a bigger problem.
Now, afterwards, we couldn't save anything. Including even clothes. When flood water touches your clothes, no laundry can fix it. So for me, when it comes to a flood situation, last night I was thinking, so those people who are living in areas where they know if it rains for even an hour, it can flood, how do they sleep?
It's sad.
So please, we need to get, whether we like it or not, we have a government in place.
They should fix it.
They should fix the situation.
Thank you, Dennis.
Whether it's district assemblies, whether it is a citizens' attitude, whether it is garage one, garage two, fix the thing for the citizens.
Okay, thank you so much.
Because not all citizens are pouring rubbish into drains.
Thank you.
Others are living their normal lives, and they shouldn't be affected by your incompetence.
Thank you, Dennis. Duncan, God bless you for accepting not to.
I'm not accepting. I am not accepting because I am equally dealing with flood.
That's fine.
Sanda.
Dennis has taken on the
No,
time.
he couldn't have taken mine. He was supposed to give me his. Sanda,
fine.
you see,
I like when people fight for
you see, the truth is, I think this flooding thing, I do not subvent to the demolition exercises. No.
It shouldn't happen.
You see, how did those structures come up in the first place? Sanda, in my space around Atomic, there were some developments. Immediately, NADMO came and said, okay, no. They broke everything down. Initially, when it rained, there was some flooding onto the main road. After getting that place a bit cleared, it's been raining. The road is not flooded. It's okay. So it means that the preventive measures are there. And then again, I read this article of one fine gentleman who says, we are also our own problems. Now, modern day architects and builders do think that tiling the entire compound
is a G.
It's a G thing. Sanda, I think that for people listening to us, watching us, if you are putting up a real estate, although the land use and special planning people say that you can put up a real estate, make room for green.
It's actually the law that you should give 30% of the land to
the
soak
land to soak water.
We don't tile it.
Everywhere we are
cementing.
So some of these things are self-inflicted. Although I agree, the central government has a key role, because if you do the geo whatever, you should be able to determine the waterways or water channels.
But it starts with you.
But do not wait for people to go and build at Ramsar. Don't wait, and don't let the assemblies provide permits for people to build. Then the place congested. Then you say you are going to demolish. You are wasting
Thank you.
I didn't talk about
Thank you, Duncan. Thank you, Duncan. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Musa. Thank you, Lamtik. Thank you, Professor Okai. Thank you, someone. I say George. Thank you, people. Dennis, you are disrupting. I have to sign up. This has been The Big Issue on ChannelOne TV and on 97.3 Citi FM. I'm Umaru Sanda Amadu. We return next week, Saturday, with more. Please stay.